course, you're tuning into the Dresch.
The Dresch code.
I'll be the late Dresch code person.
I didn't know
say it first, otherwise it's not funny.
I have to be the one that.
I was too early last time.
Dresch code.
Forgot.
You said you're gonna wait 5 minutes.
Dresch code.
I couldn't do it.
Dresch
Couldn't do it.
code.
Dresch code.
I think we're starting.
I don't think anyone caught mine.
Yeah. So we are at episode 18. Legal age. Our show can now smoke cigarettes and buy lottery tickets. Woo! It's very important.
Vices.
Dying Wars. Sorry.
Yeah. You do that at 17, actually.
Get into.
Oh,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Even better.
America's a great place, man.
So it's episode 18. I will have new pants on. Debbi, you have new pants on as well?
I do. From the buckle.
Right. Yeah. Walmart.
Have you ever done the buckle challenge?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Who
yeah,
hasn't?
for sure.
I don't know what the
You never
buckle
heard of
challenge is.
The
Never
buckle
heard of the
challenge.
buckle challenge.
Or do you want me to explain?
I'll go.
After you.
You go. I'll go. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
The buckle challenge is the buckle. They're very proud of their customer service. If you can go into the buckle and touch the back wall and leave without anyone greeting you, you've won the buckle challenge.
And you can't hit anyone. Like, you can't just knock somebody out.
Right.
If they ask you a
And you
question.
can't dodge them. You know? I mean, can you dodge them?
No.
So like Costco is like the opposite of the bucket challenge or the buckle challenge, where they they prevent they're greeting you right.
I don't know. They don't let me in.
And then they don't want to talk to you the rest of the time.
Yeah, no, I've
They avoid you.
I almost
Not in.
was. Well, that might be because I have like headphones in while I'm shopping, but I don't know.
I almost was kicked out of Costco, but I was with Nate Holtz, who was a member, so I was okay. He goes, it's okay, he's with me. That's what he said. He's fine. And we both went into the massage chair demo and sat together.
Superstars.
That sounds like a really cute mandate. I'm jealous.
And then I got up from my chair, and we're both like, "Are you sore too?" Not in that way, but it was just a really deep, just punched you in the
Just a-
back.
Yeah.
Donkey punching massage.
Right.
Is this an all ages show?
Yeah.
No, this is
No.
18.
Anyone, it's
Okay,
all
alright.
fair.
This show is marketed exclusively to 12 and under.
I'm sorry. I'll go. I'll take my existential dread somewhere else.
So
You're
we
fine.
should introduce our guests tonight.
Oh yeah.
At some point,
You had some.
Yeah, we do, and we've got a fantastic lineup this evening. I will tell you why. Improvisational extraordinaire from our brand new improv troupe, Improv Falls. Bill Ballard, how are you, good sir?
Oh, I'm so good.
What is an improv?
all right. Yeah,
All right. Comedian
Yeah, thanks for having it.
and soon-to-be sci-fi thriller star, Edge Case.
That's right.
Robert.
In partnership with this handsome gentleman over here.
Yes. Adam Wilka, how are you, good sir?
I'm almost as good as Bill. But not as
I played that.
Director, producer, filmographer extraordinaire. Paul
Cheerful
Schipper.
nihilist.
Cheerful nihilist.
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna call me right now. But
Paul Schipper, how are you?
I'm doing well.
I like to do the psychology hands.
Tell
What
me
is your
about
favorite
Shipmaster.
word?
What is your Family Guy? It would have to be fuck. And what is your favorite curse word? And producer of Monstrous Little Theater Company, Improv Falls member, Debbi Jones. How are you this evening?
I'm great. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you for being here. So how... I'm just in how this show works for the uninitiated and whoever had not seen this yet before. We pull questions and topics out of this bucket, and we decide, does this pass or fail the Dresch code? Meaning, yes, we will talk about it, or no, we will not talk about it. And so I think that pretty much sums it up.
Did you like a vote?
Yeah, it's kind of like a majority,
Right.
or if it's unanimously yes, we'll all go yes.
Okay.
But if we're all feeling nah,
Okay.
there will be a tiebreaker occasionally. That rarely happens.
Yeah, people,
But-
I'm having a hard
people
time
usually
not staring
socially-
at Bill right now
Just
because
go
it's just
with the flow.
I'm listening.
I'm a really good listener.
People are usually socially awkward, and so it's like the most outspoken person will say yay or nay, and then everyone just kind of goes with it.
Sure. Yeah.
Not
I'll
always.
say nay late.
Good to know.
Dresch code.
Dress good.
Dresch code.
So since I will, little side note, our co-host Ryan Howe is not here this evening. He had tech rehearsal for Oleana, which is a production that your company's producing.
Yes.
We'll mention it a little more in shameless plugs towards the end. So
I love it.
we'll talk about it a little more.
Great.
So Ryan, you're with us in spirit. We'll see you the next episode. So we're gonna pass the bucket around with each question this time. Change it up a little bit. A little fun. A little funski.
I don't know if I'm ready for fun.
Ski, I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready for some fun ski.
If you watch some
got
skiing
you, buddy.
footage, if in certain angles it looks like they're just throwing a temper tantrum because you can't see the poles.
GIL.
Like, anyways, are we ready for the first question?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Okay. Worst car you've ever owned?
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yes.
I'll talk about it. Paul does not want to.
I just don't have a good story.
All right.
Yeah, I got nothing there.
Fair.
You just sign up. Oh.
That's like
Go for it. I don't know.
we'll make it quick. We'll make this one quick. Toyota 4Runner. Oh, I guess PT Cruiser kind of sucked a little bit, but it was a pretty car. So
Oh, I loved the PT Cruiser.
yeah. I liked the car because it was stylish, it was classy, but it sucked during the winter.
Okay.
It was just rough, and the heater stopped working last winter, so that was one of the worst winters of my life.
I don't see why that's an issue.
Yeah. No, it's only going to be like negative
Just
60
wear
tomorrow.
blankets.
Yeah. It's equipped with extra emergency blankets, right?
Yeah. And the other car, the Toyota.
Those are the airbags.
Yeah, those are right, exactly.
The Toyota 4Runner that I owned would break down in the middle of traffic. And one time,
That's not funny. I don't know.
how dare you, Paul? It broke down at 3 p.m. on 37th and Kiwanis, right next to O'Gorman. And I was still in college at this point, freshman year, and all my old friends were driving by me going, "Is that Zach Dresch?"
And no one stopped.
And
Sorry, Zach.
except for the O'Gorman police officer. I can't remember his
Runyon?
name. It's
Officer
Officer
Runyon?
Runyon. Yeah. He stopped by.
Local hero, Officer Runyon, saved that guy's life one time.
Oh, really?
Just saying.
Doesn't that make you the local hero?
Hear that story.
I wasn't the one.
Oh, I thought you said you saved his life.
No, he saved someone.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
All right.
I
He
don't
also
really
saved
remember the
mine. Completely
details.
misunderstood
I just
that
know
story.
that it happened.
Yeah.
And Officer Runyon saved my life with that car, too.
Yeah.
So
Yes, he did.
That one was not as newsworthy, but I mean, still a story, you know?
Yeah.
What about you guys? Worst car?
Oh gosh, the thing about this car is that it was my first car, and I always feel like the first car is your worst car.
Oh, sure.
But like there was things that I loved about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a Jeep, so and it was like, you know, you look like you're a badass if you're in
Yeah,
high school.
obviously.
So
Yeah,
you got a
Jeep.
Jeep.
That's true.
And it was a
Take the top off.
It was a Cherokee though, so I couldn't take the top off. So.
Never mind.
But this is what it had. It was like a 90 Jeep Cherokee, and like they put a lift kit on it and like some like big knobby like dirt mud tires on
You
there.
looked like a man.
I did.
Just like.
But I got like I just took it to and from school. Like nothing else actually ever happened with
Right.
the thing.
Like, if
Like,
they-
everyone's always asking me like, "You have to take that out?" You know, and I'm like, where do I go?" Like, I'm a high school student. I don't know, but like I don't think they did the lift kit right because every time I would turn the corner, like the knobby part of the tire would like it would go dum 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 dum
Yeah.
as I was
No,
turning the
that's not
corner.
Right, it's not.
I'm like,
not do that.
something's
That's what
wrong.
my car sounds like. What are you talking about?
But, right, exactly. But then I had to give it up because it was like Jeeps, they just overheat, and this one was like just getting to a point where like you couldn't even keep antifreeze in it anymore. It was terrible.
Oh,
So I was like, all right.
Oh, another
Give up my
4Runner
little manly
thing. I
kids car.
pressed the gas too hard once, and the antifreeze exploded in the car.
Wow.
That probably smelled delightful.
You pressed the gas too hard.
I was,
How does that even
I was in a
work?
hurry. It was like early in the morning. I had to play at church. And I was in the parking
the
lot.
Lord needs me.
And the antifreeze, I pressed it and I heard an explosion. I'm like, what the hell was that? Oh, it must be nothing. I'm just going to keep driving. And then I parked in the parking lot, and antifreeze was all over the parking lot. And the pastor goes, I'm
like
on
a
stage
slug
during
going
this,
to your-
playing drums, and the pastor goes, whoever's car is in the parking lot, it's leaking antifreeze everywhere. Please attend to that. And I think I got up and left.
Yikes.
Hey, where's their drums?
All I hear is acoustic guitars now.
Unplugged.
Okay. I've owned about 8 cars
Wow.
It's a healthy amount of cars.
that were valued under like $1,500 when I bought them.
Noticing a pattern?
Which is why I owned 8 of them also.
They're like single-use throwaway cars.
Yeah, basically. Like, yeah, they're people buy them for a heist. I just buy them because I'm poor. I'd probably say overall the worst was a 94 Ford Taurus, which I bought, I believe, in 2013. And the reason that I bought it was because my other, actually very reliable beater, a Lincoln Continental, like a 98 or something, had been destroyed during a flood in Sioux Falls in the summer.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, remember that? Yeah, I got like carried off the road, and then that car was dead. And I needed to get to work, and I was like,
you're just hoping it's gonna flood.
I've got $400, so I'll take
Time to
that.
buy another car.
Take that car. And yeah, that thing broke down all the time. Everything I know about cars, I know from fixing my shitty cars. Like, I don't know what the stuff's called, but I know that like there's two little wiggly wires that I had to like re-tie them together to get the car to start when it would break down in
I just
traffic.
Like
love
bunny
the terminology.
Yeah. Little wiggly wires. Yeah.
I like that better. I like.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta get the wiggly wires. Hold on.
See, to me, that just sounds like a carjacking.
I love it.
I mean,
I could see the wiggly wires opening up for the Wiggles next week. Icon.
So I don't have any bad cars, but I guess like the story there is I've had 3 cars and they were all great, but I didn't start driving until I was 25. So
Wow.
like that's kind of weird.
Do you got a chauffeur the rest of before that?
Yeah, kind of. He was my best friend in high school, and he just was like, "I'm going somewhere, so obviously you're going somewhere."
That's
And I was
nice.
like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
why didn't you start driving until you're 25?
I just didn't need to. Like, so like that's the thing is like it's a really hard conversation.
You live
like,
somewhere else? Or
Yeah,
what?
were you,
I lived in Madison for a little while.
Okay, that doesn't.
I mean, like you can walk outside like the dorm and you're at the grocery store, so like it's kind of helpful in that way where you don't really.
But how did you do illegal stuff in high school?
I didn't. That was the thing.
Like,
is I was a square. You know, like,
You're the one he sent into the car, and if he couldn't get in, he left him behind. You know?
like, all right, I guess I'm not going to this thing. You know.
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
Fair.
And now I own a Prius and it's amazing. So
Nice.
except in the winter.
It's amazing how much money you save on gas mileage. Like I've carpooled with Skylar Bulks, and he has a Prius. When we do out of town shows, he only gives like you owe me $10 for gas, and that's it.
Wow.
Nice.
Like
I get like 48 miles to the gallon. You know?
Wow.
It's amazing.
I'm lucky if I get like 26.
And it's a hatchback, so I can put like all my gear into it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Save the world one Prius at a time.
exactly.
Yeah.
Doug's got one.
I know. How does he fit?
I don't know.
It's like 6'100".
It's a big car on the inside. It's like I hate the show, but it's like the TARDIS. You know, it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
There is a Doug.
Did you say you hate that show?
Yeah. Basically, what the fuck? How many times have you said that tonight?
Strike two. This is strike 2, man.
I was trying to say earlier, while we're on it also, The Office is overrated.
Whoa.
No way. That's where you're gonna get
I'm
shanked in this show.
Okay.
I loved it in high school. I tried to rewatch it. I was
Before it was
"Huh."
cool.
No, I was definitely cool when I was in high. How old do you think I am?
See, I will take Office seasons and watch certain seasons, and after that I can't. I can do the first 3 or 4 years because those are amazing. And then season 7, when Steve Carell was leaving, they're like, "Oh, we got to make the show a little more consistent with the writing." I'm like, "Oh, this season's good." And then towards the end, it got a little better.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't like season 8. I didn't like seasons 5 and 6, and some of 4. So I was like very particular with my Office episodes I
Yeah, it
watched.
sounds like it.
Dang.
I never finished.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't finish it all the way through,
That's
and
the
I
problem.
stopped watching all of it. And then I tried to get back into it, and I was like, "No," but I want to know how it ends. So I watched like the last like 6 episodes.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
I know, what a monster.
That's it's the worst way.
Yeah,
I'm
to end
sorry.
it.
You want to save us from
Go
this
back.
with your story?
What's the next question?
Oh, we're not going to talk
I
about
was
that.
going to tell
Really quick.
one quick Doug Prius story quick.
Yeah.
For those of you unaware, Doug is our bassist in our band. Very tall, long blonde hair.
Yep.
Dresses in metal t-shirts all the time. He pulled up to our rehearsal space at my dad's studio, and he was blaring death metal. He gets out of the car and goes, "There's a spider in the front seat." I added a little extra lisp there, but like, "There's a spider in the front seat." Like,
So
poor
sad.
dad. Like,
Wow.
he'd probably be like, "I didn't sound like that." Yeah. Next question, Bill. Would you
All
like?
right.
Car story.
Oh, yes, Robert.
I have so many car stories. In fact, in a Sioux Empire podcast network first, I'm going to do a bit of a Bandersnatch, if you will.
Oh.
I am going to
oh,
give the panel
oh.
here options. You can either hear, because I have like 50 car stories, but you can either hear the car story about the shitty car that is responsible for my marriage, or the shitty car that caused a mouse to give me a black eye.
Marriage, I love a love story.
Black eye, though.
Yeah,
What?
black eye. We're gonna roll that one.
People get married all the time.
Little
How often
Netflix
you get
bar is
asked if that
contracting.
mouse?
Choose.
Yeah, I say black eye. Black eye too.
Black eye.
Okay, so black eye it is. So, you're familiar with the concept of a field pickup on farms around here, where you've got just
That
you
sounds
buy
dirty.
like you buy like a truck for like $800 that you like basically use as like disposable.
Right.
So got this old Ford. It'd been cut in half and turned into a flatbed kind of thing. Before
Right.
that was like a cool thing or like a thing that like was safe to do. And anyway, my dad sends me on a 4-wheeler to go retrieve this truck that's got all these panels on it that's been left like out, disposable. So it's literally like they left it in a pasture for like 2 months. All of us left it in a pasture for like 2 months. Go out
Okay.
there. So I've got this shitty like trailer with panels and banging, and I mean this thing is a piece of shit truck. Just really slowly driving back, and about it coming up from the south, right by my cousin's house that lives like half a mile away from my folks' place where I'm taking this. And just about then I don't know if it's probably a rat, not a mouse, but it comes out from underneath the dashboard and it starts like attacking my leg, like trying to get up my leg, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm just like stomping, and try to stomp it, slam on the brakes. Wham! Right into the steering wheel. I'm just like, blah. So then I didn't know what to do. So I just, like 19-year-old me, just like, fuck it. Keep in mind I'm only going like, still like probably 10, 15 miles per hour at this point. Pull up with the car door and just like roll the pickup, and it's like rolling down the road. And then I get up and I'm like, it's just still slowly rolling forward. I'm like, fuck. I'm just like, and you can about imagine me running. I wasn't much better than that. After this panel truck. Meanwhile, I look over my like nieces and like cousins once removed or whatever. Nieces and nephews are playing in their yard. They're like 5 and 10 and stuff like that, and they're just like playing with like a little playhouse and sandbox and stuff out in their yard, and all 3 of them are just looking up. I can't imagine watching this fat guy chase after
it sounds
a truck
like a Coen Brothers film.
with the door open, going fuck. And so then I get back into the truck. I finally catch up with it because it was down to like just a crawl, so I could actually catch up to it. Get it.
I was imagining you running 10 miles an hour.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't.
I prefer to
much
imagine.
slower by the time I caught it. So, finally get up to it, and I'm just like, but I'm like scared of the mouse, so I'm just like, I'm like halfway hanging out of the side of the truck, steering it, and then like using a stick to like push the gas pedal, and just took that like a quarter of a mile like up the road to take it and park it where I was supposed to park it. And I come home, and my Grandpa Richard, who's like one of those like A personality type. Basically, he's like Tywin Lannister, if you're familiar with Game of Thrones, like the super uber like ultra serious, and you're all weak and pathetic, and
Yeah, why didn't you just shoot it, boy?
yeah, exactly. and so it's like, how did you get that black eye? And I'm like, a mouse. and that is a mouse gave me a black eye story. Thank you.
I thought the rat was going to take over the steering wheel, chase you with the truck.
When I got back,
Nathan Lane shows up. Like,
I tore that
That's a mouse
dashboard
hunt reference
and everything
for the
apart, and I
folks
never
at home.
found that fucker either.
I rented
He's still
Mouse
out there
Hunt
waiting.
I rented Mouse Hunt on DirecTV back in '97.
man, you are like a way cooler version of me.
Bill, would you like to read the next
Yeah, let's
question?
do this.
All right.
This is the one, or do we
pass
just
the-
pick whatever
one you want.
Feel it out.
Man, I'm gonna
Feel
feel
it
it out. Close the eyes. Full effect.
Feels like a good one.
All right. How do you let difficult shows affect you? By difficult, I mean low turnout, personal feelings toward your performance, etc., etc.,
Etc.
etc.
I think my wife asked this question.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it.
I don't do shows, so
We could figure out a
we'll
way
just
to
pass
apply
it.
it to you
Yeah,
as well
right.
too. You'll figure out a way to apply it to you.
I will.
Pass. Let's get done.
All right. I just shrug it off now at this point. I'd just be like, I stress about it for about 10 minutes.
I'm far too powerful for this.
Well, depending on the show, the circumstances. If it's like an open mic and I don't get laughs, I don't care. Because it's an
Yeah.
open mic. It's just me trying out new material. It's like,
Yeah.
if it didn't work, it didn't work. But
Your very first TV special, you might be a little heartbroken.
right.
That would
And
suck.
I did a show with Skylar and Timmy Williams a couple weeks ago, and I was like, there's a couple jokes that I didn't think went great,
Yeah.
but I wish they'd gone way better, and I let those stew in my brain, even though I had a whole other rest of the half hour went really well. I still focused on the two jokes that didn't go great. And I
Did you
just
how do you recover from them?
Oh, I just, well, on stage, I just moved on from the jokes. I just,
Did you- did
but
you-
after
did
the
you-
show, I was like, oh man, I wish
Did
they
you do your kind of like, well, that didn't hit, and then got a laugh for that?
I did it a couple of times.
Yeah,
Last
you're
night in
the
St. Paul, I
master
did
of
that.
that, my friend.
Last night in St. Paul, I did that. A couple jokes didn't land,
Yeah.
even though I like was selling them, and I just got
Because of the lack of the
silence.
TSA agents right now,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But then
And then I said that didn't work, and the audience like
loves
laughed
that.
at that.
Dude, he
like,
kills with that sometimes. It's awesome.
I'm
I wish
never
I
not
could do
laughing
that.
when he's talking, though. So
I
like,
wish I
it's
could
really-
do that.
I'm not a good judge of,
Fair.
yeah, I'm learning to shrug that stuff off and be like, you know what, it's another day. Just
Yeah. Mine's pretty much the same. Wait, no, you got improv.
You go for it,
No,
man.
That was rude as shit.
Hey, I don't know. Is this a
it doesn't
linear?
have to
Do we
be
need
like-
to do
it
this?
could apply to anything.
Go for it.
Yeah, I can go for it.
Acting,
Cut.
improv, that kind of
Cut. Go for it. I'll pass. For a minute.
Same. Like you just kind of shrug it off, like an open mic.
You
It's
have
like,
to
yeah,
if you want
whatever.
to keep
Yeah.
progressing. Yeah.
Literally, yeah. And then like, well, it was that you never know when you're gonna have some kind of crazy shit with an audience member, which like, as long as no one's been physically hurt in such a scenario, I love that. I don't love it when it's happening, but afterwards, I love thinking about it. It's just like, I can't believe
I didn't hit that guy with the chair.
I can't. Well, no, or
You
just
walked away safe.
or just like I can't believe that guy was that drunk and obnoxious by 8 o'clock on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know,
His life must suck.
what So, but yeah, and then when you got like the important show where you suck,
That one hits
Yeah.
you harder.
yeah, drink. Just drink.
I don't do that. I just get really whiny after the show. And like Skylar after that show, he's like, "I know you didn't think you did great."
And Adam gets box whiny.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Just have a few. Yeah, convince myself I was better than I was.
I get Franzia whiny.
All right, Bill, you got this?
Oh man. I mean, I'm just trying to think like just improv shows. I don't know. I feel like
Like
that's
acting performances.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. I was more or less thinking like a show. I did a one act in college that oh man, it was like the student had written the play and directed it and everything and cast me in it. And the thing about the language of the play is like it was all fairly similar. So like there was really easy switching points where I could like easily cut out half of the play.
Oh,
So like, and I did one night, and so I just remember, and it was like two people, it was me and Jen Halverson, and Jen was looking at me like, there's like trying to get me back on track, and I was like, what am I doing that's wrong? I had to keep going in my, like in my head. I'm thinking, where did I go wrong? Like, what did I miss? Like, what's so bad?
This is a half act now.
Right, and then I got to the end of it, and like, did you realize you skipped in the middle? You skipped to the end. So like, there's a lot of this that doesn't make sense to anyone who came to watch it.
Just be like, no, I'm Quentin Tarantino in it. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. They figure it out. But like, I just remember going around and apologizing to a bunch of people and be like, "Oh my god, you gotta come back and see it." And they're like, "Oh, whatever, it's fine." But yeah, it took me a while to shake that one off. But then after that, I was just like, "Whatever." They saw what they saw. like you said, they'll take away whatever they want to take out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt so terrible because it was his play and it was his baby, and I just took it and just I'm just gonna cut
the
this shit in
context.
half.
But that was only one time. I'll
That was
bet.
only one time.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, oh no, I'll never do that again. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I never used to really have the fear of low turnout until I became a executive director / producer of theater. Then it's the fear is if you don't get the turnout, how do we pay ourselves back for the work that we put into it? But as a performer, I always look at it as well, what is my intention with performing? Of course, the one intention is you perform so that it can be seen, right? The audience is the purpose for our performances. But for me, my personal audience is God. That's just me personally, but also the experience is the biggest
I dig
thing.
that.
We did improv the other night at the Fernson open mic, and it was me and Zach and Emily, 3 of us from Improv Falls. And there in the audience, we had my 2 friends that were visiting, the 2 bartenders, and then one other open mic performer. Yeah. And so there were 5 of them, which for an improv audience is actually pretty challenging because you improv based on audience suggestions, and if you're only getting suggestions from 5 people who are really kind of there to
Do their own thing.
or see music or are your very kind and wonderful friends if you're watching. But the purpose was that we could get ourselves out there and perform in front of people, because if you're gonna do anything,
It was just a nice little warm up for the show.
it was great. Yeah, and I mean, we were doing it for the experience, and I think it was really helpful.
It
despite
wasn't
the
a challenge
low
for me
turnout.
because I've been used to doing stand up with 2 people in the audience.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
It was
man.
totally easy.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you just embrace the suck, too.
Yeah, it's where do you get your value, your personal?
Steer into
Yeah.
it.
My favorite.
It's there's the bottom right there. You know
My
what I mean?
favorite is doing stand-up sets for an audience of nearly no one, but treating it like you're at Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
There was one night where Nathan Hoffman was drunk, but he
Nice.
kept, I think it was
One
Wiley's.
night?
Wiley's. He kept yelling, "Hello, Sioux Falls!" There's 4 people there.
That's awesome.
That is amazing.
It's how are all of you? All 4 of you. And no one was saying a word except me and Holtz, and a couple other people were just losing it.
What a wonderful
That's awesome.
person.
Yeah.
I love Nathan Hoffman.
Yeah. Nathan Hoffman, if you're watching or listening, job bless, one love.
I just want to
Oh my gosh.
So we move on to the next. Or Robert, if you had difficult podcasts that affected you, or
I was trying to think, live thing or whatever.
Live
I don't
stuff.
know. But no, it's not coming fast enough, so we can move on to.
you ever had any difficult shoots that affected you, Paul?
I feel like everything. I feel like I'm a walking Dick Van Dyke sketch where my entire life is just going over the furniture all the time. So I also think I'm the prince. I don't want to say king. The prince of taking rejection. So
Not the king, but the prince.
no, the prince.
I
I
might
got
say
some.
you were the king of pain.
Yeah, kind of.
Please
your
reference.
feelings do get hurt, but
Yeah,
you
my
don't
feelings.
cry.
No, and you know what? I'm so I don't want to be Buddhist about it because I don't think I am, but I'm so presently focused where it's just all right, that didn't work. Keep moving.
Not yet.
What's going forward? So I try to have a little show with every one person that I interact with. So if the gas station attendant, I'm gonna make a casual observation with them. And stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So,
I do that all the time.
Right, I actually had a big post on Reddit that blew up where people loved that suggestion, and I'm just the waitress, the person sitting next to you getting a haircut, every interaction you have with them is something that you can use to temper your feeling of rejection, where it's just all right, so I walked in and I didn't get what I wanted out of XYZ. All right, I'm just gonna let it roll off of me because, all right, I'm on to the next thing. I don't know, I'm like that kid that is too stupid to realize that he's been clotheslined, and just keeps going. So yeah, but no shows really. So
There are people at Wine Spirits at Ivy that cannot take the fact that we don't have the sambuca they like. I'm just
What's
like, we don't.
Sambuca?
It's
I
like
don't
it's like
know.
a liqueur, and like, do you got Sambuca? I'm like, oh, sorry, we don't have it right now. They're like, oh, that sucks. Can you go look in the back? I'm like, no.
No, because I'm the only person working this department right now. And it's
You want me to leave the register unattended?
You just take a run for it.
I'm an idiot.
Oh,
No. You just have arms.
Sorry about that, Robert.
just have arms.
Very.
I can't help it. I can't help it.
Expressive.
They just go. They just go and go.
You just put your hands in the air like you don't care.
I clearly don't about other people's microphones. Sorry. All right.
No, you don't want to pick that one.
I don't think I think this is a good one. Do you think this is?
Yeah. I feel
I'm
it.
feeling it.
I'm feeling it.
Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. I think. Dirty
Way to
comedy
influence.
versus clean comedy. Which is more difficult to write, and which has a bigger impact on the sociology of their eras, if any impact at all? Dang, that got heavier than I thought it was going to start off.
Yeah.
Dirty comedy, and then
I was like, I didn't know it was going that direction, but I'm, you know, I'm still
I'm down to
personally
talk
in.
about it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Should we start at this end?
Sure.
Yeah.
In your perspective, what do you think is?
Yeah. Well, in improv, we always call dirty comedy going blue.
Yeah.
And there are comics who go blue for the sake of going blue.
Right.
Like dirty comedy for dirty comedy's sake. Well, I believe there is power in dirty comedy. Like I love Big Mouth with passion.
yeah.
The Big Mouth is the most brilliant cartoon TV show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I think it's more difficult to write clean comedy because you have to. It's not about just playing to a lower audience. You're playing to more audiences.
Right.
You're opening up the field of comedy, and I think it's more impactful to show great comedy and the artistry of the shapes of your jokes and the shapes of your sketches through something that relates to more people. Yeah, I think that's more valuable and more challenging.
Totally.
I would definitely agree that it's more challenging just from the fact that you don't see a lot of like clean comedy, like where that's like the niche that they fall into, so much to where I feel like blue comedy, it's almost like it's a spectrum, whereas like clean
How
comedy,
dirty is blue
yeah,
comedy?
like exactly, like
I-
You talking
totally
blue
right.
collar
So-
comedy or
Totally
blue?
right.
Yeah, like Big Mouth
There's
is
dropping
smart.
there's dropping an F-bomb and then there's
Right.
dropping an F-bomb while you're explaining an enema.
Right, exactly.
But,
Right.
you
So
know what I'm
like
saying?
you've got people like
The
Brian
range.
Regan who like runs a completely clean act, and he's a hilarious dude,
Yeah.
like just very funny. And then I think answering the second part of the question, the sociology
of the eras. Yeah.
and the impact. Yeah. So one that had a lot of impact on me was Hannah Gadsby's Nanette on Netflix. I don't know if
I've
everyone's
seen
watched
that one,
yeah.
So she talks about how like self-deprecation and stuff like that is like kind of it made her comedy better, but it held her back as a person, and so like trying to elevate above that and seeing where that goes is interesting and challenging. And so I don't know. I don't know that one's necessarily better than the other, but I do definitely think that clean comedy is more challenging.
Yeah.
Clean comedy is harder for me personally to do. I think a lot of it is honestly when I'm trying out a joke for the first time on stage and I'm not that familiar with it, my filler word is fuck.
Sure.
Like, you know, so like that just kind of makes that harder. But like at the same, so like
It's the lens that
wanna
you're
say
filtering
well,
it
for
through,
I like up until just now, I was gonna actually agree with you and be like, yeah, clean comedy is definitely harder to write, but that really is just for me. But then I was thinking about it and like, dirty comedy, there is a real challenge there too.
Sure.
And that's like finding the line
Sure.
Right.
where like I want to get to as close for my approach to dirty comedy. I want to make you as uncomfortable as I can with this joke without actually like ruining it for you.
Yeah.
Alienating
Like
you.
yeah, I want to get as offensive as I can without being like, oh, that guy's a sexist, or you know, like, like you know what I mean?
not
Like,
fair.
where's the line? Like,
Yeah.
so there's that challenge. As far as the impact, I mean, I think I don't know how you can measure it because I feel like comedy, just in general, is like it's a reflection of society, regardless of whether it's clean or dirty.
Sure.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it from like a marketability impact or something, clean comedy is king. I mean, look at the gross ratings of any PG or PG-13 comedy and then compare them to an R-rated comedy. You know, like it's because you have a way bigger audience if you're.
Well, yeah, I suppose if you're
Because the
measuring
dirty
it that
people
way.
might still like the clean jokes, but a lot of the clean people aren't going to like those dirty jokes.
Sure.
You know, so there's me on that.
Yeah.
But you could also look at Shrek as like being dirty comedy.
I didn't say Shrek was dirty though.
No, but like
But-
for the time though, they thought they were really like pushing, you know,
Yeah.
the boundaries.
I think they were pushing the boundaries of clean comedy with Shrek. I don't think they were dirty. Like,
No, and I don't mean like dropping F-bombs because obviously, isn't that a G movie or is it PG?
PG.
PG.
Is it PG? Okay.
Disney basically owns the G rating. But
Sure, gotcha. Yeah, and that was.
That's not a joke.
DreamWorks,
That's
right?
actually the whole thing. But yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, you guys said a lot of stuff that I think was probably on top of my mind too, especially what you said, Adam, too. Is like, I feel like, you know, with dirty comedy, yeah, like people can say, oh, that's easy to write, but like you're saying, like, to do also what people haven't done before,
Yeah.
like that's a difficult thing to do. Like, you know, like you can't just go out there and tell, you know, poop jokes and shit like that. Like that, like at a certain point, dick jokes and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure, you know, as Zach, you know, I'm gonna do an entire hour of dick jokes. Like,
I literally
you know,
will
like
tell the audience this is what you will expect.
right,
Yeah.
right. But like, you know, I'm sure, and then that's the funny thing about it is like, you know, as an audience, where I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna come to another one of these shows. You know, like, so like, how do you differentiate yourself from other comics? If that's like all you're doing is like basically the same thing everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's definitely like an art form to it. But yeah, like as far as like, you know, society, yeah, it definitely is a reflection. But I mean, I don't know. I'm always like, how do you perceive it to be like? Is that like, you know, like, is that your truth? Are you living your truth through comedy, or is comedy your escape from truth? And comedy is your like you're able to be honest with yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I was looking at comedy.
yeah.
Like, is like I was always like, well, why can't we just be honest? And that's what I think I appreciate about comedians is that they just say what's on the top of their fucking mind. They don't sit here and like try to censor themselves.
No.
Like they're willing to say, okay, this is how I really feel about this topic,
No.
even though it's really taboo. Like
Yeah.
here it is. Like I'm just gonna bring it up in its raw form, and then we're just gonna have to all figure out how we feel about that. So you know, that's what I always appreciate about comedy is that it's willing to go places that you know. But yeah, I mean, clean comedy is definitely hard to write, just because you know I don't know. I feel like some of it's just a little bit dishonest, but I mean, I think there's a lot of big comedians out there who are honest and they just are clean.
The people do
Come
pull it
from
off
there.
where they're like, you're gonna hear some stuff that's gonna make you think, and it's gonna be, you know, I'm not gonna swear one time. Like it's pretty rare though.
It is pretty rare. So like when you do
it
find
does seem
that,
to be more safe topics, and that for me, that I think that's why I prefer dirty comedy, because the stuff I'm interested in are more controversial things. In general,
Well, and
you know.
I'm not a comic, so it's like I'm not necessarily in a position to be the one that judges that. I absorb a lot. Of
Yeah.
Thank you. Aw.
You know,
I absorb a lot of comedy, but yeah, I don't want to be like,
We're all
your guys' job is easy.
but you're an artist, like you get it. Everyone in the room, I think, gets it.
Yeah. But I mean, there's definitely clean comedians that I enjoy, but I just can't really like. There's so many dirty comedians, so like you do have to respect the people who do clean comedy, because it's like there's not very many of them. But like if I thought about it, I could probably come up with a few names. I'm like, dang, I love that guy every single time he's up there.
Jim
But, like,
Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan,
The king
exactly.
of clean, really.
I mean, exactly.
I mean, you could argue like I love Dimitri Martin, and
He's relatively clean.
Yeah, relatively
Yeah.
clean. Like every once in a while, he'll
He'll
be
drop
like,
an F-bomb.
"Oh, there's a dirty joke," you know. But like
Yeah.
for the most part, he's
Dimitri Martin comes off as clean even when he's being dirty.
Exactly,
And that's
that's
a talent.
something-
That's what I strive to do.
Sure.
Because that way I want in my own personal mind, I want the acceptance of the clean audience.
You definitely
and the dirty.
succeed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I've been trying way harder to write more universally understood jokes instead of my odd, obscure references jokes I've been making a lot. I'm trying to, like, write jokes that'll go really great at a Christmas party where there's a ton of 65-year-olds. You know, it's like that every time I do a Christmas party, I bomb because...
You ask yourself, like, can I tell this joke to my grandma?
Yeah, because Grandma's not going to know Eddie Vedder. She's just not going to know Pearl Jam. Who is Pearl Jam? Is that a necklace of some sort? I don't know. But this week I've been trying to write cleaner material, and in the process I wrote the dirtiest joke I've ever written. And it's like, I cannot win. It's like I'm trying to be more like, oh, okay, this will easily fly.
Do reverse psychology, trying to make it really dirty, and all of a sudden, like, what? This is super clean. How did it happen?
Yeah. And on Friday night, I did the 8 o'clock show. I did a cleaner set for the sold out show at Nate Holtz's headliner, and then the 10:30 show. I'm gonna go dirtier. I'm gonna go dirtier. It's a quiet. Less of a like. There's a smaller crowd.
It was the first one was sold out, and then the second one was not even supposed to be put on. It just
it was just an extra one, right?
It probably was about 30, 35 people at that second one.
Nice.
You know,
Still solid.
Still a good solid.
And so I pulled out some dirtier stops and threw. I said I'm gonna say my favorite F word tonight.
Yeah.
Fart.
In dirty comedy, it's like, if it's dirty for the sake of being dirty, that's one thing. But if it's like thoughtful humor and smart humor, like no matter what genre it is, it's appreciated.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone gives Dice Clay credit because he did push the boundaries. I wasn't familiar with Dice Clay though until very recently, and I watched his special. And I was like, "Ooh, I hate this man. He's a jerk.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. He's very mean about me. Like
he is literally the most misogynistic comic I've ever seen.
Yeah, but it's it was the time though, because I mean. No one did it. No one did dirty period before him, really, right?
Except Carlin, and a couple others, but Pryor.
Yes,
Richard Pryor.
That's true.
But actually, Andrew Dice Clay once hosted SNL, and a couple female cast members, declined to appear in the episode.
Really?
Because of that.
Wow. That doesn't surprise me. He said some shit. Dude, Tim Allen's. I'm kind of going through this thing right now where I'm watching. I got a whole, you just got comedy specials on Netflix, and I'm watching the ones that I would not normally watch, just to and Tim Allen's comedy is, it's weird. It's such a sign of the times. That's all I can say. By today's,
Can you close your eyes and imagine
he's not
misogynist?
Well, it's like. Tim Allen's comedy, it definitely was misogynistic, but it wasn't blatantly intentionally offensive the way Dice Clay's was. It was more just this was what was, in the 90s he was probably considered a feminist. You know what I mean?
Right. Doesn't play to the audience.
The material's super dated now.
Tim Allen's material, his new material is dated now.
I haven't seen his new material.
Just talking to Conan.
Wasn't bad.
He bombed on Conan. How do you bomb on Conan? Makes you look good. He said this whole bit about superheroes, what's with their outfits? What?
They're wearing their underwear on the outside. I don't get it.
How does the Hulk erupt and he still has his pants? That was his bit, and no one was laughing except a few pity laughs.
Boo. It's oh, Santa, why?
And you could tell Conan was just not in the mood that night. He was just oh.
That'd be rough.
Conan will save your interview.
That'd be real rough. Yeah.
These are just not as mixed up as I want them to be. This is too orderly. So
yeah, do it.
All right. So most challenging role you've ever played? Is this?
You can make it. I'll talk about it.
Sure.
I'm gonna call that a pass. Yep.
Yeah. You could take it in a different direction. Most challenging night you've ever had, or something like that.
Father.
That's beautiful, and I'm not even a dad. The most challenging role I've ever played, I think, a normal person, like, going through everyday life. Like, I know that's, like, completely, like stupid and silly, but, like...
100% of people.
I literally can't say
Functioning
anything now
adult.
because that's what I was gonna say.
Okay. Well, at least it's relatable then.
It's super relatable.
Because, like, that's the thing, is, like, I'll go somewhere and, like, people will be talking about something that is important for the situation, but I'm like, why are we bothering with this? Like, I got shit to do. I'm thinking about these other things, you know? And I have to just, like, oh yeah, all right, this is important to me too, Dave. Like,
Right.
it's like, okay. So yeah, I think the fact that I'm, like, usually thinking about things in a completely different way, but trying to mesh with reality is the most challenging role I've ever played.
For me, most challenging role I've ever played was Wolf number 8 in The Jungle Book when I was in 7th grade.
Aw.
Yeah, yep. See, I'd gotten the lead every other year, and then I came back, helped my best friend prepare for the audition.
And she
Backstab you?
No, she didn't. You can't backstab.
Okay, all right.
You know, like
she black swan.
nobody has any black swans.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
No one has any control of like what role they get.
right.
You know, I was so bitter that she got the lead and I got Wolf number 8. That
They didn't even have a wolf number 8. They
Oh
made
my
it
gosh.
just for me.
Seriously, it was a great lesson for me to have in the 7th grade.
Never
But
help others.
So, no, there are no small roles.
That's better.
Yeah, truly, I remember nothing from that production because I just like made such a negative experience of it out of my.
But now a positive experience.
Now I can use that as a
Right.
teaching tool for my students. But
For sure.
I work with the best. I work at the Dakota Academy of Performing Arts. So we just had our auditions and we had to turn away like almost 100 kids
Jiminy Christmas.
because there's
I
just
believe
so
it.
many kids interested in auditioning, and it's such a. I mean,
You don't have that many roles.
we don't have
the stage size for
Right,
it.
yeah. There's literally not enough space to. Yeah.
Kind of related to
point.
that. When I was like talking about launching this audio drama podcast thing, and I was just like,
Edge case.
are people like? I was just kind of like, are people even going to be interested in do voice acting? I mean, is there any like? I was like, I don't know if anybody in Sioux Falls is actually like interested in doing something like that.
I have a buddy that's
And
just like that's all he's wanted to do his
and
entire
I
life.
so stupidly put out just like a feeler post, like, so what do you think? Would people be interested in that? My inbox exploded.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, I believe it.
I was getting headshots for voice acting. Headshots.
Yeah.
If this is how good I look, imagine how good I sound.
Exactly.
Right.
Can we just put just like find a way to get the headshot in the audio?
Yeah. Spectrogram.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, there's so much interest, and I mean, it's because it's such a great tool for all people to be on stage.
Oh,
It's just
man.
so good for you.
I've filmed almost every play that they've done for the last, I don't know, like 4 years now. It's been a long time. And like, as an adult, I'm like watching these kids and I'm just like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And like I get drawn in, the music, I'm singing the music
Yeah.
for days after like these kids are amazing. And so like, you just have to imagine like, there's literally like 40 or 50 of them on the stage, and then you think about the kids.
The coordination.
But
Yeah.
the
those musicals
kids
and
that
stuff.
get that there's just
and they
not
do it in
room
like
for.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and
it's crazy.
it's awesome. But yeah, I use that as like, I remember when I was so bitter about Wolf number 8, and like there's some kids that all they want is Wolf number 8.
right,
You know,
exactly.
don't be.
I've seen
such
some
a
really
bitch,
great
Debbi.
wolf number 8s. You know.
Yeah. Yep. They can steal the show if they're not bitter. Yeah.
I don't know. I go to those shows. I get jealous of these kids. Just put me to shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like their whole lives ahead of them. They're doing so well.
Look at me. I'm on the back end of this thing, and
I'm filming it.
I had a friend in high school with and we were best friends, and we were the big Orland Herp theater nerds for that school, who always would get us state and get our superior and stuff like that, and so it was always a foregone conclusion that we would be in it, but it was always he would be Mowgli, and I would be the really standout wolf number 8, or there were even a play where I was literally his sidekick or comic relief behind him or something like that, and it's just kind of especially teenage me was just kind of like, I'm sick of this shit,
Right.
Second fiddle every time.
And it's so silly.
I just want to be
It's
a
so silly.
cheerleader for people though these days. Like I want to
Yeah.
let me help you accomplish your dreams.
Yeah, now that I'm older, that's my reaction. But teenage me was just like, fuck that.
My name is Craig. I did drugs once. I am aspiring. So check me out.
That's great.
Exactly.
That was the most challenging role you've played, right?
No.
Can I guess? I bet I know what it is.
Yeah. What?
Was it Father What's His
Yeah.
Butt in Doubt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, Doubt is
what's
such
that?
a good
I,
role.
damn.
I played the only
Phil
serious
Seymour
role
Hoffman.
I've ever played.
Yeah.
Was it was a 4-person play. Debbi was in it. I played a father, a priest accused of molestation in the Catholic Church.
It's a
I've
great
heard of
movie.
Doubt.
Yeah, no, you
Okay.
have to check
Great
it out.
play,
Yeah.
great
It's
movie.
Jamie Loftus's favorite movie.
Yeah.
And that should mean something to you, but I know it doesn't.
And I'm
sorry.
it was hard because my instinct. They told me you have to act the most neutral, but also hintful you can possibly
Yeah.
be in that role.
Yeah.
So you can't give it away because they
Did you
never-
watch the movie before?
No, they
I
told
mean,
us we
it's-
can't.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
literally like the
Good.
title of the play. The whole thing,
Doubt.
like the
Doubt.
linchpin is
Yeah.
creating the doubt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Funny is, I had only done stand up once.
So you were the main
before
character
that.
then,
Yeah,
like the star.
or it was all an
Yeah,
ensemble
it's an
thing.
ensemble.
It's an ensemble
Oh,
thing.
okay.
But it was great because my character did 3 sermons in the play, and I had just started doing stand up at that point.
Oh my
I didn't
God.
translate, and that would be inappropriate. But like,
so
what are we doing?
awesome.
Like 2 Corinthians.
Let me tell you about. I'm sure y'all heard about my week.
These Christian painters saw the house and they say, "Repaint, repaint." Literally, a priest said that joke once.
Love
I'm sure.
But no, that was a challenge because I had never done
I believe
serious roles ever.
You were amazing.
Well, thanks. You as well. You as well. That was such a
Was it
That's
filmed?
another
I would
example
totally
of
watch
show I
it.
didn't get the role I wanted. I wanted to play the priest.
sister.
Just kidding. Yeah.
So much
Freaking
better.
Zach.
You
got
wanted
that-
Sister Aloysius.
I wanted the
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
nun. I wanted
Yeah,
and I
that's a
got
great
the
role.
That would have
I
been
got the
fun.
young princess one.
That would have been fun
Should've been
because we would
grateful.
have gotten to yell at each other. That would have been.
I know.
Like,
Though I will say, Zach and I once took an acting workshop together where it was the strangest acting workshop. I do not, I don't know who taught this, but it was bad. But they were like, now you have to make your partner mad. You have to make them cry. Say whatever you have to say to make them mad and cry. And that's just not possible with this person. The poor
Did you tell
guy.
him his Nick Cage impression was bad? Like that
No,
would
I
make
mean,
him.
he had to try to make me
Oh,
mad,
okay.
and I just kept laughing at him.
Yeah,
And,
right.
I think we were disrupting the room, probably too. I think we also left.
I think the only line I was saying was "Get in the car."
I would be yeah, I'd be losing my shit.
And I kept emphasizing each word, each line, and then Debbie just keeps going,
You couldn't
"Get in the car."
I shit my pants just now.
It was great.
But yeah, that was
awesome.
it. That was. Yeah.
Oh crap.
Good times.
Yeah. God.
Hardest role.
What do you got?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've always been given ones that are like, yeah, you'll play the idiot. Like, go and get up there. And I'm like,
Oh, I thought it was
okay,
gonna be
so,
like the strapping
Yeah,
lumberjack.
you look like the dashing,
Yeah, like the guy that rides in on the horse with the coconuts.
No, I was like the.
Hello, princess.
No way. No. I was always like, yeah, like this guy's a. I don't know. I was always the Dick Van Dyke sort of character.
Okay,
like you said,
alright.
like I was like stumbling into things and like, oh, here I am. But yeah, I don't know. I can't say. I just don't know if I've ever really had a role that's really required that much of me that I felt like, oh, I really. This is a challenge for me.
So
He's
maybe
only a
that's the
father
challenge
of
that you want that.
I want that, yeah, and that's why my father was like, that's probably the hardest one I have, So,
Are you a father?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's
I'm a
believable.
father
Yeah.
of 4 children.
That's crazy. Yeah, congrats.
probably-
Wow.
that he knows of.
I know.
Well, now I'm confused because you said 5.
4 to
certain 4 to 12.
I know how it works, but yeah.
But 4 for sure. Minimum of 4.
The model
That's like counted. So yeah,
I have seen 4 legal documents.
the rest I will not. Yeah. I've got to have evidence.
I'm just imagining you singing Billie Jean. Like,
Yeah.
Weezer just released a cover of that.
did they? Was it good?
No.
Weezer needs to stop taking that. Doing that stuff.
I on my way to Minneapolis yesterday, I listened to a whole covers album. And they basically just took each song as it was in the recording, and it just sounds like Weezer covering it.
Sure.
Billie Jean, Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, Sweet Dreams by Eurythmics, like all these 80s songs. It just sounds like the 80s song, but Rivers.
You listened to Ozzy's cover album before?
No.
He has a cover album.
Oh, no, I've heard
Yeah.
Staying Alive.
Dude, some of them are
Staying
great.
Alive, that's a
What?
great.
Staying Alive?
Yeah.
He has an entire cover album, and some of them
I know what I'm putting on Spotify
fantastic.
after this.
How?
Some of them are not.
Ozzy just goes, Staying Alive, Staying Alive, huh?
Somehow I'm staying alive.
It sounds as glorious as I'm picturing in my
And then, and Purple Haze, he covered Purple Haze.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love Ozzy. I love Ozzy because
Ozzy's
he's
a
like
zombie.
He's like,
Really.
it's like this vegetable that they roll on the stage, and they put the mic in front of him, and all of a sudden he's just alive again.
They just prod him.
Like SNL did do a skit like that once where Ozzy's in the studio and they're like, hey, we're gonna get lunch. Ozzy, what do you want for lunch? Yes. What? Ozzy, can you sing it? Like, what do you?
And then he sings it, and it's
He goes,
perfect.
It's like the King's Speech.
That's how it is, dude. That's how it is.
Ozzy, we're gonna get club
He
sandwiches.
still has it.
Ozzy, what do you want to drink? Diet Cola
Yeah.
Oh my god.
with
Dude.
ice.
The dude can still
just-
jam.
Rewatched Goldmember the other
yeah.
night.
Yeah.
On Netflix?
On Netflix?
I thought about it too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's like
It's
not as good as I remember it
Same.
being, but
That's most
like
movies,
I
yeah.
forgot that the whole Osborne family is in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I forgot that. Isn't Tom Cruise in it?
Boobs, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Isn't Tom Cruise and Britney Spears in that one?
Yes, they are in the beginning. Yeah.
Jeez, I don't remember any of that.
Yeah.
Why do I not?
Beyonce.
Beyonce's the only one I remember being in there, and I don't know why. Because didn't she play?
She's Foxy Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. I don't
And
know.
Gwyneth Paltrow
Maybe there's a
plays
reason I don't
Dixie Normus.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
she's in there
those movies.
too.
Aren't we getting a sequel to that soon?
That's what I heard.
Austin Powers?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
somebody said recently, yeah.
I don't
That makes
believe
Yeah,
me
there's a Big Lebowski sequel
Without
coming
Glenn
out.
Shorter.
that one I believe.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
believe
weird though.
Austin
Like, how
Powers
can you
yet.
take Big Lebowski and like make a sequel of it?
How
mean-
did you make a sequel of Seinfeld? Like every episode was like.
I know exactly. So it's about, but I don't know. It's just kind of like, are you gonna do that to Big Lebowski? I mean,
I don't know.
feel like it's a
I'm
standalone
not-
film.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
it'd
with
be
you on
alright.
that.
That's a tech
Yeah.
call, specifically.
I know, like every time I like talk about art, it's just
I'm
like
sorry.
you're an idiot.
No, I was just asking because I was curious.
I said before the show that I just didn't get Scrubs, so like you guys can crucify me for that. Yeah, so
You don't want no Scrubs.
yeah.
Scrubs is a guy that can't get no love from him.
Hanging out
So
the
I have
passenger
to-
side of his best friend's ride.
Weezer covered that one.
Trying to holler at me.
Yeah, so I'll hear it out.
Not good.
Hey, real quick.
It's your turn, actually.
Happy birthday to Tina
Tina.
Lugo.
Yes. It's
Tina.
Tina's birthday this evening.
That's
We
right.
couldn't make it because of this. And so we wanted to wish her a happy birthday.
Very cool,
She's one of
bro.
our biggest supporters in comedy, and
Yeah.
we just wanted to thank her. And shout out and happy birthday to
Love you,
Tina.
Tina.
Love you, Tina.
Happy birthday, Tina.
I told her we give her a shout out. And
Right.
She goes, let me know when.
Send her the time code.
Right now.
And it was exactly the hour mark.
Perfect. I'll let her know.
Okay.
Right?
But I'll tell her to watch the whole thing, of course.
Right, of course.
But,
Of course.
Tell her you
everyone
don't
does.
remember, so that she
right.
watched.
Yeah, I think it's like 10 minutes in, maybe half an hour. I can't remember. Just wait till the
30,
end.
40, 50 minute.
Yeah.
Toughest,
10.
toughest role.
Yeah.
We actually mention every 10 minutes.
Her birthday.
Yeah, just watch. Speaking of Austin Powers, Tina's birthday.
It's great.
Did we mention your most
No.
challenging? What's your one?
Okay, so I've actually only had one role, and it wasn't that hard though.
Was that the Nutcracker?
Had Drosselmeyer in the Nutcracker at O'Gorman for the
Yeah.
children's show. Wasn't hard though. Fucking loved it.
got
Super
to grow a
fun.
beard.
Only time I've ever been. Yeah, I got a pass to grow a beard because it was O'Gorman and you can't just do that.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
All right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That.
Well, you
Feathers
don't
are
grow
ruffled.
beards. Did you go to O'Gorman?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just assumed
Oh, you're good.
No,
because you.
you went to the public school system in Chambers.
You
Gotcha.
assumed because I don't have a beard, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're next to the knight. You know, I mean.
Yeah. Yep.
That is the O'Gorman
That's
night.
some
I
strong
believe.
extrapolations. Like, let's make a detective show, actually.
No, but so that wasn't that hard. The other day, I was playing Shadowrun,
Heck yeah.
and my guy's on top of a moving vehicle in a car chase, and I have to jump to the car behind me to save a hostage from that car. So I have to make a gymnastics check. Well, I've only got 6 dice for gymnastics anyway, and I'm at a -3 penalty.
What are you, a troll?
So I'm rolling. No, but this just isn't my stat. So I'm rolling 3 dice on my gymnastics check, and I'd say I got 3 6s on the check. 3 dice, 3 hits.
Yahtzee.
I would say that was probably my toughest roll.
Oh,
Oh my
God.
god.
Oh,
I saw it coming, like,
Yeah.
just before it hit me.
It seems so easy though.
Yeah.
Oh, have you been working on that like this entire
Nope,
time?
that actually just happened. Everything I just said really happened yesterday, and like.
if you can believe that he lives that kind of like high-food lifestyle.
Why is that so funny to me?
I don't know, but that's what I'm not even laughing at. That just sounds like Shadowrun to me. But Zach's reaction to it is like fucking hilarious.
I like your reaction to my story better than my story. No, it's a true story. And when shit's true, I don't really like need to work on it because I just tell it as it happened. You know?
There you go.
That's funny.
But yeah, really to get 6
Oh,
hits
man.
too. 3 hits on 3 dice. That's like it shouldn't happen.
So,
Just saying.
you guys complete the mission, or y'all get slaughtered? What happened?
No, we won. Oh,
Nice.
Saved the hostage. I fought a cyborg on
Nice.
top of the hood of this car. Like I was gonna get smushed by this guy. This guy's a
Well, yeah.
beast. I'm a pretty badass guy too in the game. Played by Tom Hardy, by the way. My
Nice.
character's played by
Nice.
Tom Hardy, so
Wow.
you know, like, right? Don't picture me. Picture Tom Hardy. Okay.
I would have Matt Damon play me in it.
Well,
too, so I get
Matt Damon played my other character.
Oh, all
Because
right. You get it.
you have impeccable taste.
I suppose. Anyway,
I pushed him off the car. That's how I won.
nice.
Pushed him off the car. Thank you.
Toughest roll.
Later roll.
Get me to-
Damn it! All right, Debbie.
On that note,
I'm so
Hard to follow that up.
weirdest app you have ever downloaded on your phone?
Oh, I got one. Want me to start with this
Yes, I do.
Yep.
one? I don't know if it's on my phone now, but there's an app of David Lee Roth sound samples.
Oh, too.
Oh.
Wow.
Yes. It's called Diamond Dave. It's called Diamond Dave, and it's a photo of him in sunglasses, smiling.
So are you gonna hit it?
That's the app. Oh, it's it basically sound samples from Van Halen songs, and Roth just going, "Ooh yeah!"
Very important for everyday use.
It cost me $3.
Oh my god.
I'm proud to know you.
I think I could make this app for less than $3. Like,
No, this one's my favorite.
God damn it, baby, you know I ain't lying to you. I'm only gonna tell you one time.
Wow.
I played with this for like a half hour.
I believe it's starting again.
Here we go.
Wow.
Weirdest app. Besides Tinder.
But that's not really weird. It's just the experiences surrounding it are weird,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. You guys download, is that just me that downloads weird apps like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from my end anyway.
Yeah.
I don't have any silly apps on
I was
my
like, I
phone.
can't think of like what apps I've.
Yeah.
If I have, I'd have to really dig. Like,
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't know.
Like, I'm not even pulling out my phone because, like, all of my apps are utilitarian. And if I don't use them within, like, 2 weeks, I delete them, you know? So, I'm boring that way.
Right. Okay, so I don't know. This is a weird app, and this sounds really weird, but I used it for a good reason. But I had an app that recorded the conversation, but I was not recording any one of personal conversation. My old phone was being like, the voicemail was being outmoded, so I had some funny voicemails that I was recording.
Okay.
So like it was like I like downloaded the app for like that quick little bit of like, okay, I have this on my phone. This seems really weird. Hopefully NSA is not like reversing that on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I wanted those funny voicemails, and the only way to get it off that old phone was to use like a conversation recording. So I would call my voicemail, turn the recorder on, like.
Listen, yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Other than that, like, yeah, it has to have some utility to it. Otherwise, I'm probably not gonna do it. So.
I mean,
I don't have any
Zach
games on my
says
phone.
utility.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. I'm not, if I knew that existed, I would have had it by now.
Oh, you bought it?
I'm only gonna tell you one time.
So yeah, this is also the weirdest app I've ever downloaded.
Great.
And I just downloaded it because I didn't know I needed it.
You didn't need $3.
That's right.
Actually,
That's
at the
right.
time it was $3. Now it's free
Yeah.
because they realized.
No, it was 99 cents, but it was worth 99 cents.
Yeah.
I need to make these. I could make that. Like, I can't make the app, but like I could get all the sound clips.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll do my own
Robert, can you
rendition.
program? Like, let's make some money.
I might know a thing about that.
Let's.
You can make at least 99 cents.
Yeah. I have
Do
like.
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah. Well, I was
And it'll take
thinking.
me a
all
month
of
worth
the-
of
oh my
work
God,
and
let's go
paperwork and
into business
iTunes to get that in.
I was thinking Freddie Mercury because like I have
them.
I have like recordings of Queen like clean like without any backing track and stuff like that. Like you could totally.
That's pretty.
I mean, I don't have that stuff. I lied. Never mind. I gotta go.
It's his own voiceover
Yeah,
of that.
Right. Anyways.
Cover.
The cover of it.
There's
Yeah.
the video's delayed and it's weird because you can watch yourself.
Oh wow.
Yes. Quite.
See,
my
look, I'm not doing that right now.
It's delayed,
It's
yeah.
like ghosts. It's like we're haunted.
Yeah.
It's like,
I got it.
That microphone's gonna die in 7 days.
It's updated now.
all right. Next question.
Aw.
Anyone else have any weird apps?
Oh well.
Weird apps? Anyone else?
No, but I did just buy the app as well.
Perfect.
Diamond Dave app.
Yep.
I'm going to encourage everyone download Diamond Dave app.
I'm just gonna make my
I
own.
don't know. I got
That is my only
99
shameless
cents is
plug
important to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Which games, board or video, should be made into a film?
I'm not gonna answer that one personally.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Look at
No, I'm just joking. I just literally because I'm working on like several screenplays for them,
Oh, okay.
so I don't want to like talk about
I
them.
don't really have a strong opinion about that one, so,
So-
that'll be
So
our
fail.
one fail. Yeah.
There we go.
I was
Bill?
Too
Jack
bad.
Black.
Dang, that was harsh.
I really ruined that for
Shut
everyone.
down.
I sounded way darker and more dramatic
I
about
feel like
it.
in order to-
once.
I am not
We could
talking
do
about
it.
this.
In order to add variety, I feel like we need to reject at least one or two. So
Yeah.
that's
No.
my
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That sounds so intense. I'm
Yeah,
not
like two guys
talking about it.
We're like, well, okay.
Someone died.
It's very dear to me. Yeah. How do you effectively introduce or announce yourself on stage? Do you
With the Diamond Dave app.
just walk up. Hey, I'm Zach. I'll talk about it.
do it?
I guess I like to do it loud. I just like to yell. I've been learning to yell a lot more, especially with improv stuff. Like I feel like it's more. I'm like not in my head.
You have the
anymore.
lung capacity, so you're like,
Right.
let me use this.
I'm not in my head as much as I used to be, and I found that if I just talk it out, the anxiety goes away.
Yeah, dude. It's
Yeah.
like
It's gone. Like it's like yeah.
I kind of hit that point recently. I feel like I'm yelling a lot more than I used to, and it's almost like
It's
Oh,
therapeutic.
man,
I've been yelling since
Yeah.
like 2016, so.
Just the more you yell,
Every
the more
morning.
you're breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell my wife that.
I also like to.
She teaches like flexibility classes and
Oh,
stuff.
okay,
So like you
yeah.
need to breathe and
Right?
It
Yeah, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
She's
I'm not mad at you. I'm just breathing.
she says if you're singing, you're breathing. You know. So I'm like, oh, now we can add yelling to
That's funny.
I like to
That's
say I've been doing. I'll usually bust out a quick joke, but I also like to chip in with like, "Hi, I'm Adam,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's great because every time, no matter where I do that in the world, someone will go, "Hi, Adam."
And it's usually me and the other
But I
guy.
like
say, I do that. Yeah.
No, dude, like random dudes
Yeah,
will be
people
like,
be doing it,
"Hi,
yeah.
Adam." It's like,
You and me, we get
We're
each other.
friends.
I've actually learned to stop saying, "How's everyone doing tonight?" when I go up on stage.
Because you don't give a shit.
I
what do you
still
work
do,
at?
but I don't.
Cashier?
I want them to have fun.
But I feel like every comic has been kind of. We've
It's
actually been
cheap.
realizing it's
Yeah.
cheap. Everyone's been doing it,
Yeah.
so I've been learning from like Haltz and those guys. Let's just go up there and start the jokes.
Yeah.
Like I don't even. I will say hello and just start.
Yes.
Like last
about-
Wednesday, I literally walked
If you're the
up.
host, you can do that. Like
If you're the host, if you're the host, I get it. That's what I do. Like a quick little "How are you?"
Yeah.
Are you guys ready? Get into the jokes.
Yeah.
But on Wednesday, I walked up and I did this at the Icon show. I started with the joke saying, "Maybe I don't get the expression, but no one should throw hot dogs down hallways. It's
Which I
a
love
waste
that
of food." I just start with a joke instead of saying, "How's everyone?"
And then you say your again.
Where's
Right?
that joke?
I'm proud of that joke.
I love that joke.
It bombed at St.
Where's
Paul
the
last
penis?
night. Oh,
No, that's the one I love. Well, I like the hot dog one too, but it was he told it at the Icon, or it was like
you ever
You
fool
too- you
around,
tell
you ever
it, I
fool
won't,
around with
yeah.
a lady and things get hot and heavy, you take off her pants, it's like, whoa, where's the penis?
I just think that's so funny.
That is unexpected.
Right? It's just
It's one of those jokes you gotta sell it. You gotta
yeah.
like, where is it?
it's just yeah.
And a lot of time the audience reaction is polarizing. Half of them like, what did he say? The other half's like, what?
No, you didn't.
No. No one says that.
This is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I ever like. I mean, I don't know. Just don't introduce myself. I just let them figure it out. I don't know.
Clapping kind of is a good motivator.
Who was that guy? I don't know. We enjoyed ourselves though. I think.
Yeah. It was fun at
Slip
Icon.
into the darkness.
On Saturday when I just walked up, I didn't even have to like. Yeah, I just walked up and
Yeah.
people started clapping. I'm like, that was a cool feeling. I didn't have to try so hard to be like, how are we? Like,
Right.
yeah.
That was a cool room.
That was a cool room. I like that
Very
room.
cool room.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
Maybe just I don't want people to know who I am.
This is Bill. No,
Why do you think that is, Bill? Lay down on the couch.
What does this
Talk
ink
about
plot look like?
ladies and gentlemen, again for Bill Ballard. Don't.
Please.
Don't.
You don't want to know. This is not get personal. Okay?
Well, I was
This
in the
has gone
witness
too
protection
far.
program, but not anymore.
This is Bill Ballard, who's a big fan of puppies. Come on, no, stop.
Yeah. All right. I'm
Personal.
dead. I'm dead. I'm out of here. I'm gone.
Again,
Bye.
this is in
That's
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
the end of my existence.
Too personal.
Yeah. So I don't want to disappear after I appear on stage.
Poppy's personal.
I'll disappear so I don't physically get whacked.
Just imagine him, but without facial hair and maybe different like hairstyle.
Yeah,
Does that look like anyone you
A different. Yeah.
And a couple Aryan Nation tattoos on his shoulder now.
Whoa. Now we know a lot about this.
These are just sleeves without tattoos on.
I got arms tattooed on my arms. See, that's not fair because I just told his joke, but differently. More. Like,
That's comedy.
damn it, Zach.
Comedy.
Cavity.
Comedy.
Robert, have you ever done a different kind of intro for a podcast that you thought was a little off kilter? A little
Oh, yeah.
different? And you're like at the end after you're like, why the hell did I like?
But it was so awkward. I put it into the next season's intro to the Sioux Empire podcast because I did this thing called Podcast Palooza at the point where I was hosting like 12 or producing like 12 podcasts.
Yeah.
I had someone from like every podcast on. Were you around for that, or I don't think you were around for that episode.
I don't think I was. I don't think I was able to make it.
But it was like a full house. Like the couch was full, and then it had like 3 chairs. It was all these different people from all these different shows with very different like interests, and personalities, and it was like we're all gonna. And I wasn't trying to do a Dresch code thing where people come in late and then stuff like that.
Just how it
was
happened.
I was
Dresch
like
code.
1, 2, 3, Podcast Palooza, and that was going to be the intro. And I did it. No one else did it. They're all like, "Well, we were waiting for after the 3," and I was like. What? No, that's not how counting to 3 works. Yeah, it's just.
So is it rock, paper, scissors, shoot, or rock, paper, scissors, and then you do it?
Fist down.
It's rock, paper, scissors, fire, water balloon.
Oh.
But it was funny because it was just like, you just yelled it out with such confidence. But we were all just like waiting for the signal to start.
Kind of like to be the one that goes manic and yells the title way more crazy than anyone else. Like,
It's your show, so I mean, I would imagine.
next episode, I'll go a little crazier for episode 19.
He won't stop for a little bit. He'll just go on a tirade for like a couple.
You should like stand up and like rip your shirt off.
Trash Okay, somebody get this guy on.
Drop to your
No,
knees.
like he's wearing like a white shirt, and underneath it says the Dresch code.
Yeah.
There's been
Yeah.
there's been like Bobby and I have joked like there's one night where I just want at the end of a Disarmed set for me to just take off my shirt for no reason. Run off stage.
I mean, isn't that reason enough?
Yeah. After a really intense fast song, and run.
Do it. People
Like-
would love you.
It's like, wait, what is that on?
Life,
Life,
baby.
maybe. Like
We decided to just let it open up.
Life, baby.
Put on throttle.
Too personal. Too
Yes.
personal.
Personal. Zombies. Next question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do
I
it.
can't read them.
I can't read.
That's what it was.
Can't read good.
Derek Zoolander.
This jar needs to be at least 3 times bigger.
Now I'm gonna reveal my lie. Best Super Bowl halftime show performance.
Oh man.
I'll talk.
Yeah,
about it.
it's
No.
None of them have been Weird Al, so I don't care.
I'll go down with you.
Okay.
I'll talk about it. Bill.
okay. We
Well,
need some tiebreaking
tiebreaker.
votes then.
I'm gonna go down on this one.
Oh,
okay.
Rejected. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Well, that's very thoughtful of you. Maybe it'll return the favor.
Maybe it'll smack me. It'll get me good. It'll be the next one's gonna be terrible.
When funny fat guys lose weight, does the funniness go away?
talk about it.
I'll talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a very long conversation, so.
Yes.
Oh. Well, maybe it is a long conversation. I think the funny just becomes different.
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, okay.
But Jonah Hill lost some roles. That's why he gained weight back.
Oh, yeah.
Jonah Hill started doing serious stuff when he lost weight.
Oh, did he? Is that? I thought.
Or I guess he did 21 Jump Street.
He did Moneyball and
Yeah.
I just read one time
Wall
that
Wall
he
Street.
was,
He
yeah.
like serious.
he lost the weight and then he like felt like he wasn't getting his
Enough
funny
to-
roles, so he like gained it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he just was tired of dieting, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what he said, so he could start eating pizza again.
Right.
Yeah, no, I getcha.
It's for the comedy. It's for the fans.
Yeah.
I remember the roast of James Franco. Sarah Silverman, I think, said before the show, Seth Rogen rolled a fatty, and that was the only way we could get Jonah Hill on the stage.
Wow.
Yeah, I loved the roast of James Franco.
That was
one of the best ones, just because you could tell that a lot of those people really were friends. So
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
it's more funny.
That's what made the old ones so good. Was they all did like know each other and like Sinatra and all those guys that interacted and stuff. And so
Yeah.
it's like the
The
interaction
early
was
Comedy
organic.
Central roasts were like that too.
Yeah.
By the time they got to Charlie Sheen, it was just copy and paste, and I hated the whole.
Yeah,
the
it was
roast of
very
Charlie
like
Sheen.
Yeah.
there were
That was a
people there
bad
that was
one.
like, why are you here
Yeah.
other than you were available at a bus stop or something?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah. The Bieber one, the only one I liked was Pete Davidson. Because he's like, Ludacris is here. Grandma, if you're unaware, he's on the Now That's What I Call Music compilation, volume 28.
That's kind of how I reference music.
Yeah, like, oh, remember Now
They're
That's
on
What I
now
Call-
3.
It's fair.
So does the funniness go
So
away?
age myself.
Yes or no?
I don't think so, but
Usually not.
Probably not.
With Drew Carey, though, yes.
Yes.
See, it can happen.
See, I was going to argue yes, and he was going to be one of my points of
Because has he done comedy since? No.
no.
Not
but maybe he doesn't
Is-
want to do
but-
comedy.
But why?
He's
but
also
why is that?
unbelievably well-
Is it
he's-
because they got really serious about just how their physical appearance was, so they just forgot how to be funny anymore?
They cured the underlying psychological issue that caused the weight gain or the like eating disorder or whatever,
Yeah, they-
and then that
they patched
kills
that
the funny.
wound.
Really,
Or the
But they still
audience.
got that wound there. I mean, they could still use that. They could still produce some humor from that.
too well adjusted.
But they just shut it off.
Seen Drew Carey?
But it's not just you too;
Relax.
it's the audience too. You know, so maybe it's like the audience just like is like, no, you don't get to be thin. Like,
I don't know. Kevin Smith
be
lost a lot
fat.
of weight, and he's still hilarious.
But he didn't like. But he's still a little husky though.
No, not anymore.
The jersey
No,
comes
he's
it
like
up.
a
So he wears
representative
the
for
jersey.
Weight Watchers.
But he's still
But maybe he wears the jersey to
'Cause
kind of put that look out.
I wonder, yeah.
So,
I think
so
the
you know what I'm
argument,
saying?
though, that you're making is whether comedy or art can, like, if it's going to be quality, if it has to come from a place of pain. I love how everyone always gets really quiet when I start talking.
You just bring it in, Dad. Bring it home for us.
Yeah, and I think
You speak
I mean it's like
poetically.
what we were talking about
worded it.
before.
Yeah.
Quality art, if it's quality because of the work and the effort and the intentions and the thought that goes behind it, not because of what causes it. We talk about this a lot in like the visual arts world as well. Like just because this is a terrible example because I'm not a visual arts buff at all, but like just because Van Gogh's art was so good because he was depressed and that's why it was good. You know, when you start valuing the
And
pain,
that's a big
in
problem that happens.
That's what Hannah
Right.
Gadsby talks about.
As a
in her
young
special
writer-
I was referring to.
When I was a young writer, your personal, I fully claim responsibility for all decisions in my life. That said, boy, did I love Hunter S. Thompson. And there's a whole, I've talked to other writers who like went through their Hunter S. Thompson phase, which is like, gotta get drunk and write and like, and
Right.
just be self-destructive, because if you're not being self-destructive, then you're not doing it right. You know what I mean?
and
Like,
that's
so
just so false.
you're right.
Right.
Yeah,
like
I
good art comes from great work and great talent and
effort.
thought and effort.
Yeah.
It doesn't come from pain. Sometimes pain is just there.
Maybe it comes.
And it
Maybe it
could-
comes from genuine emotion, and that's a lot of it's just maybe it's just easier for some to tap into pain. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm
So
saying,
you're
but it doesn't
seeing
have
pain
to be
more
pain.
often.
Yeah.
It's just
And that's what
whatever
people
is real
perceive.
for that
Right.
person.
Yeah.
Oh, and I will say, okay, again, I could be totally misquoting this, but apparently somebody told me, so Van Gogh used lots of yellow, right? And they say it was because he was taking like a medicine, like an antidepressant type thing that made him see yellow more vividly, which shows like his art actually got better as he sought better care for himself.
That was
Yeah.
literally in that special. So
Like
like
he was
everybody
using
watched
less.
that special.
He's using less yellow as he
No,
went
he's
on.
using more yellow.
More yellow.
More yellow.
Is
Because
this
the
a special
medicine
leading up to
makes
the
you see
movie
that
that's
more
coming out with
clearly.
No,
Willem
that-
Dafoe in it? Isn't that
Maybe.
Willem Dafoe playing like Van Gogh or something like that?
I
I
would
don't
watch
know.
the
The
shit out of that.
Yeah.
I think there's something
I'll watch
coming out
Willem
with
Dafoe.
him in
My
it.
coworker told me that. That's
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Hi, Sarah. if
Which
you're
way
watching.
was this going, by the way? I just
That was
okay.
good. I want to see a
Do we have more,
biopic
though?
with Dennis Leary
that?
playing Willem Dafoe.
Oh my gosh.
I would see that.
Oh,
I got those two confused so much, though.
Yeah,
I thought it would be great.
point of information before you draw.
put that in my
thing.
stand-up.
We have to clear up something for Robbie Knowlton here from the previous episode where Debbi was on. You have to choose between Spaceballs or Blazing Saddles. I remember this conversation in the previous episode.
I don't think you
Robbie,
have to
I'm so
choose.
sorry. I haven't watched them yet, and like, thank you so much for he gifted both movies to me for my
Oh,
wedding.
wow.
Thank you very much. I still need to watch them, and I will, and I
Tonight.
will tell you. Yes.
All right.
It's like there was one other thing I forgot to mention. What was like I totally spaced it. It was
The funniness.
oh right. I write better when I'm in a good frame of mind. I used to
Yeah.
think I wrote better when I was self-deprecating, and then I threw those jokes out. And since then I've gotten stronger as a
Yes.
comedian when I threw that shit out.
I agree 100%, Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe though, like Jonah Hill and Drew Carey just found like they just didn't care for that.
They didn't
so
want
much
to do that anymore.
Let's
And they're
mention
just like- they're just being
Drew
honest
Carey
with
is worth
themselves.
$500 million.
Yeah.
Maybe he just
They're
is
like-
chilling.
Yeah,
I don't
that
need
too.
those
You know,
If
jokes
I had
anymore.
$500 million,
Like-
Yeah,
like, maybe I
whatever.
would-
Yeah,
take some fencing
He might just be
lessons.
hanging out. You know? Why aren't you doing comedy anymore? Well, I've been sailing the world for the last
He
4
technically
months.
won. He gets to not
Yeah,
be funny anymore.
right.
He can just
Yeah,
do what the
he
fuck he
doesn't
wants on
have
an
to.
island
Yeah.
somewhere. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Do it.
Best example of a serious actor doing a funny role really well.
Ooh, Jim.
great.
Jim. Oh,
So-
sorry.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
his-
Pass.
Pass.
I'll talk about
Yes.
Jim Carrey
In what?
in Truman Show.
But this is a serious actor doing a funny role.
Oh.
Also
damn it.
number 23.
I was
Also
thinking
number 23.
This
last
one is
night's
harder.
SNL. I thought McAvoy did a pretty damn good job. Like,
I didn't watch that. I
oh
didn't watch
god,
it.
I don't know. I'm just like, even though SNL for me has not really been like hitting off very many good shows, like I felt like last night's was an exception in the season. So, But yeah, go back and watch it on Hulu or whatever you do. But
Mark Wahlberg in The Other Guys. I thought
you
it was
go.
great.
Yeah.
Before he had only known for serious films. That was his first.
I first knew him from The Departed.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize he was Marky Mark.
Oh yeah.
That's
Same
so
here.
weird.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say he was into comedy at that point.
Boom.
Oh, pump the jam, pump it up.
It's a sweet.
I'm gonna go with.
Had to sing it.
I know you did.
Legally
I didn't stop
required.
you. Yeah.
Sir Patrick Stewart in any of his work with Seth MacFarlane.
Oh sure.
I mean, he's
damn,
Deputy
yeah.
Director Bullock. He's the thoughts of Joe's. He is the narration for the inner monologue for Joe and Connie's baby girl on Family Guy, and it's amazing.
Salt
He's so
and
funny.
pepper!
Yeah. So I'd probably say him.
yeah,
Ian McKellen hosted SNL once, and he crushed it.
I'm
I
sure.
bet
He played
did.
Dame Maggie Smith
Oh my god.
and kissed Jimmy Fallon.
That's awesome.
And
That's
they're like,
beautiful.
"Who are some people you hate?" And he just goes, "Judi Dench." Just with Judi Dench. He's like, "Kiss Pollock, Jimmy Fallon," and that's all. He crushed that. That was so good.
I just
I
feel
want
like
to say the great Meryl Streep, but I can't think of like a funny role off the top of my head.
Down.
Julie and Julia, was that a comedy?
Oh yeah, Julie and Julia for
never saw
sure.
it, but
She
I-
played Julia Child,
Yeah.
and it was serious, but it was funny.
playful.
It
Yeah.
was playful. Yeah.
Would you
She
say
played it really well.
Julianne Moore is kind of a comedic actress, right?
More dramatic, but with Big Lebowski, she kind of changed it up.
Well, and she did some 30 Rock stuff,
Yeah.
and dude, this is totally unrelated, but 30 Rock is the greatest sitcom ever
I
in
do love
history.
30 Rock.
so he says that about The Office, but then
Come on, it's 30 Rock.
30 Rock
30
is
Rock?
so smart.
It's very smart.
Tracy Morgan.
And wacky.
Genius.
It's smart and wacky.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
smart.
usually both
It's wacky.
Camera.
And I hated Tracy Moore. I just did not get him at all.
until that.
And then I watched 30 Rock, and I'm like, that guy's a fucking genius.
He is.
Yeah.
He's great.
He is.
Yeah.
has anyone seen the OG or whatever it is that he's?
No, I want
Yes,
it's on my
it
list
is
as well.
really,
though.
really good.
That's what it looks
That's
really
a serious
good.
movie, isn't it? Or is it kind
it's
of
a
comedy?
TV series.
Okay.
And it's serious subject matter, but there's lots of
comedically,
jokes. Yeah.
okay, good.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to see A Star Is Born.
I want to see that too.
No.
That's
I've heard
good.
mixed
I missed it in
reviews.
theaters.
I just want to
first
see
one.
Dave Chappelle do a really dramatic role, which I mean sounds
Yeah.
like he's
Oh,
going.
Dave Chappelle.
Have you watched him do an interview?
That dude,
Because that's a real dramatic role for
I
him.
love Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle.
Yeah.
I've seen
I was kind of kidding.
everything
I
you
figured.
can see of
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle. I've seen. He is hands down my favorite comedian alive.
Nice.
Steve Carell started doing more dramatic work recently. I haven't seen a lot of it, but I've heard he's done really great with it. But
What's that rom com he was in? Again, I think with Julianne Moore actually, and Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone.
he
Why
did
am I
Crazy
blanking
Stupid
on this?
Love.
It's Crazy Stupid Love.
Oh.
I love that. That's kind of a
Drama.
dramatic,
But then
very
again,
dramatic
a
one.
serious actor doing comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, my bad.
That's
Sorry.
what
But
makes it
comedians
harder.
are all
I
serious.
keep forgetting.
I feel like there's so
I
many.
know.
Yeah.
Like SNL is like
Yeah.
the first thing I think of when I think of serious actors doing comedy, though, because
Yeah,
it's like
Christopher Walken was.
Yeah, Christopher Walken.
before that.
Christopher
That's a
Walken
big one.
is
Yeah.
probably
He was
one of
known
the best
for-
examples. Yeah,
He's primarily.
and then he did
known-
his dancing one on SNL, right?
Yeah, and since SNL, he's mainly done comedy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen him
I
in
do love
Geely?
him.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
he's
No,
in that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Damn. Proof I didn't see that film.
I've never
It's
seen
one of my
it either.
favorites.
He's great in Balls of Fury. Ping
Okay, yeah.
pong.
Oh, yes.
I just like Joe Dirt when he's harassing the fire hydrant and like,
Joe Dirt!
stop being the face of the soldering iron, like he's like threatening the
Try
fire
and cross
extinguisher.
me.
Yes,
Stab in the
I
face.
forgot about
Soldering
Joe.
iron.
that's a great
What
movie.
a
Say it again.
great movie.
Say it again.
The Ballad of Dirty Joe.
I think a much better movie than Joe Dirt is Dickie Roberts, which is a
Oh,
child
yeah.
star.
I've seen
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah, also a great
This is
movie.
nothing futz.
Yeah, like obviously you can watch both movies. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, just like, I feel like nobody
make a
talks
cameo
about
in that
Yeah.
as a guy
maybe.
as himself parking cars.
That sounds.
I think he does. I think he's a
love when-
valet.
I love when actors do that, where they're like, they do like self-deprecating like cameo or something like that. That's always like
Right.
amazing.
Oh, Emilio Estevez was known for dramatic roles in the 80s. He did National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1, where it's like a Lethal Weapon parody, and he just crushed it because he was just deadpan. He like walks into this convenience store really dramatic, like goes, what flavor icy you got today?
I have to say,
Kiwi cherry. Yuck.
it's like Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, and Tropic
There's
Thunder.
one in Tropic Thunder,
Yeah.
yeah. Which is like nothing you would see that guy so friggin' serious all the time. You're like, what was uncharacteristic of him as an individual?
That's
He
true.
was-
That was a good one for that.
I read on the interwebs that he like stipulated in his contract that like he gets to wear a fat suit if he's gonna be in.
Oh, I'd believe that.
Yeah.
So that the fat suit was actually his call.
Yeah, I believe
well, I
And
totally
it
believe
worked.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, who saw that one coming though? Like it just seemed like out of left field. But,
Yeah, that's
you-
a fantastic movie.
Should we look at it from the other side of the token? Funny actors doing serious roles now.
I'll
But
allow
yeah,
it.
the number 23.
Let's talk about that now.
Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love
a lot
that
of
movie.
stuff. Yeah.
I'd say Bill Hader and Skeleton Twins with
That's also a really good movie.
Robin Williams in
A lot.
Goodwill
Insomnia.
Hunting. A lot.
A 1 hour photo.
Yep.
Bicentennial Man.
Insomnia.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Anything Robin Williams does.
The Angriest Man in Brooklyn. Did you see that one? That was the last
No.
one that he
Well, the
completed
last
before he
one.
died. It was pretty good. It was kind of a random cast. Him, Mila Kunis, Peter Dinklage.
It's not random.
Yeah, I would watch
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, but it's
I
good.
haven't even heard of it.
Angriest Man in Brooklyn.
Adam Sandler in Punch Drunk Love.
Yes.
Adam Sandler in 51st Date.
Adam Sandler.
Super
Still a
serious.
comedy.
Like, there's funny.
Funny people.
Yeah.
Oh, funny people.
I like
movie.
funny people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
a little bit of
elements.
comedy,
Adam
but it's
Sandler
mostly
Click?
drama. I think.
I could
Ooh,
say
okay.
Click,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Yep.
we're getting there? Alright.
Halfway.
Yeah.
That was like a stress. I remember leaving the theater when that movie came out depressed.
Yeah.
I was 12.
Yeah.
Like, it's really sad. Like, or 12 or 13. I'm like, oh. Oh, he's not dead. It's fine. Like,
Who else has had some great turns?
trying to think. I really wish.
Jack Black in The Holiday.
Jack
I heard that
Black.
was good.
Yeah, what was it? Dude, honestly, I thought Jack Black killed it in King Kong. Do you guys remember King Kong?
I haven't seen it, but
I loved that.
such a
I know a
long
lot of
movie, I
people
couldn't
like hate
strap
on
in for
it,
the
but
whole
I
thing.
loved that. The
How
Sam
do you feel about
Jackson
Lord of the
King Kong
Rings?
was awesome.
I thought
How do you feel about
Yeah,
that?
well,
Jack
one of the
Black
reasons, like,
fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I maybe
I
you have to
loved
come
it.
from a fan
Yeah.
of the literature
Sure.
to like want to strap in for that long.
Yeah.
But I painstakingly for me just it was painstaking because I just sat and watched.
I don't give a shit
like,
about those movies at all. So I'm
Right,
with
but
you.
like you have to be
That's
committed.
okay. That's fine.
You have to. I feel like you have to be committed to appreciate it.
Right,
Because like
yeah.
you watch Stephen Colbert talk about it, and it's like that's like his jam.
Yeah,
Like,
You have to
You
be
know,
that. Like,
and he's not an idiot, so I'm
No.
like, all right, there must be something here, but I can't find it.
I
think
know,
if you're a
and that
swords
makes
and
me feel
sorcery
dumb, I
kind
guess.
of
But
nerd,
you know, whatever.
maybe
I mean,
it'll be-
I am, but
Oh, fair. There then.
Will Ferrell in Stranger Than Fiction.
You know what? I was gonna say it the other way around.
So
like
good.
I haven't seen it. I need
Will
to.
Ferrell's always so serious. Like maybe he's switched on us the whole time. He's been doing serious roles, but everyone's laughing at him.
Right.
Whoa.
Oh,
mind blown.
Talladega Nights is a drama.
John C. Reilly and him just they're totally serious the entire
Vegas
time.
is a sign of solidarity.
You're good.
Yeah.
What is the first album you ever purchased with your own money?
I'll
Oh,
talk about it.
I'm embarrassed.
yeah.
Okay, embarrassed, but
great.
yes.
18s. Everything 18s.
Eiffel 65 Zero Pop.
Nice. I own
yeah.
that. I own that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
The self-titled album, Chameleonaire. Riding Dirty.
Oh.
I was 15.
That's awesome.
I had just gotten my first car,
And you're like,
and I
wanna ride
was
dirty.
like, I'm gonna ride dirty.
and then
I
Weird
didn't
Al
know
wrote a
that.
song about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a terrible, terrible album. So yeah.
Sorry, Chameleonaire.
Yeah, you can't really follow that one.
He's
up.
like
Yeah.
sitting in his like in his den.
Yeah, watching this, like, damn it, I worked really hard on that.
boy, Adam.
If we tagged Carmillionaire in the description, do you think he'd
Our
actually
millionaire would not answer, but
Chameleonaire.
Chameleonaire.
When he gets off his shift, he'll check it out.
See me
It's off his shift at K Jewelers.
I will add, my 18s album was not only 18s, it was like the 18s ABBA cover album.
I think that's all they ever
ABBA.
did, isn't it? Like in the beginning?
I think so. And
Like, I
so
think that's how they started.
I didn't know like
Not that I know
ABBA
anything
was an
about the
actual
18s.
Yeah,
band.
yeah, yeah.
All I knew was 18s, and I was like, who are these weird people covering 18s?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
heard, like-
You're not the only person that experiences
Isn't that funny when you hear the iconic original and you're like, I can't believe this is like this guy's ripping off Drake. You know?
It's terrible. Yeah, so I gotta mention the first like cassette tape that I owned and the first CD because I feel like they're both kind of funny. But like I got the first cassette tape in elementary. Like my parents were like had the light radio station. I was like, pick out the next song that you like on here, and like we'll get you that tape.
Yeah.
You know, we'll Jimmy some change. So I think it was Bee Gees though.
Nice.
Nice.
So Bee Gees was my first tape, and the first CD was Fastball, All the Pain Money Can Buy. And the funny thing was, I was too young to understand the reference on the album cover artwork. It was like a bunch of pills and like change and stuff. But the way it was on the radio at that
Way's
point in
such a good
time,
song. Yeah.
that like, you know.
And Out of My Head is a big song too off that album.
Oh yeah, there was that one.
Out
Yeah.
of my head.
And everyone's like, yeah.
Whenever I had a casual.
Oh, and I gotta say, Hootie and the Blowfish was another one that was like one of my
Nice.
first cassette tapes too. I gotta throw
That's
that one
awesome.
out there, yeah. So
For-
pretty classic
Impressive.
ones. Hey, thanks.
Yeah.
This I want to hear Zach's first.
Yeah, I really want to hear Zach's.
first cassette was either the Ren and Stimpy You Idiot soundtrack
Fuck yeah.
or the Peaches single by Presidents of the United States of America.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I was walking.
That was the first album I ever stole from my dad. So,
I was walking in early November. My mom's like, "You want
Yeah.
this?" I'm like, "Sure."
Did the
like
single have
4.
Caroline's Booty on it too?
Candy Cigarette is the B side on that.
Okay.
And did not get. It was a whole song about like BJ's, and I did over my head.
Yep.
It's like the chorus is "Sucking on my candy cigarette, she's in bed," and I didn't get it.
yeah.
And my first CD was Weird Al's Off the Deep End,
Nice.
and then first band was Offspring, Americana, with
yeah.
Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
Nice.
And it was that point that was like.
Yeah, I remember cruising
And
around
all
here
the
on with that
girls
crank
say
thinking it was just the best thing
for
ever.
a white guy. What a great song.
And then I remember
Cigarette in
I remember
that
vividly
great decade.
buying Third Eye Blind and Foo Fighters right after that too,
Nice.
and then Weezer, and then that all changed. Green Album.
Oh, the 90s.
I got into the Green Album before the Blue Album. I'm like I was weird like that. Like I liked Hash Pipe before I liked Buddy Holly, and like
There was
I
a lot
love
of people
Hash
though.
Pipe.
yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of people because I think I was in the same track too. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
there's this Buddy Holly. I'm like, what?
What's
That new
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, weird, looking at me weird, but yeah.
Shall we do one more? And then
First cassette,
Oh,
Fresh
yes.
Horses, Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
yeah.
But first CD was Weird Al Bad Hair Day.
Oh, nice.
Stole that one from my dad too.
Dang. Connoisseur over here. That's awesome.
Do you want to hear more about my dad's record collection?
Yeah. What else we
Frank
got?
Zappa.
Oh, dang.
that's so-
My dad was a Zappa guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, one more and then
One more in Shameless Plugs. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, this is like the least believable.
Yeah.
Like,
Get in the car. What is the most rewarding thing to you about performing in front of an audience? I feel like we kind of touched on it a little bit,
I
though.
literally feel like I have magic powers when it's going good.
Should we pass or
Just
fail
saying.
that
No, I already said what I have to say.
Yeah, we could do better.
one? Yeah.
Better fail.
Yeah.
So,
Besides, it's our tradition to usually reject like the first 6 things you draw
Six.
for the last one.
That's
the
right.
last one.
because you got to make it good.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the difference between being a nerd and a geek?
No,
No.
that's a fail.
Hell no.
yeah.
See, we gotta.
Easy.
This is our blood sacrifice to the end of the show.
When you act on stage, how do you channel your energy and what fuels you? Kind of touched on that already.
Yeah. See,
Maybe Zach just sucks at picking questions.
Yeah,
It's possible.
Zach.
I know.
Come on, get
You
those
son of
hands.
a biscuit.
This is your show.
Sorry, guys.
Believe
Sorry.
in it.
This one is fun. I like this one. If you were to host your own talk show, who would be your house band?
Ooh.
I like
yeah.
that question.
I could fuck so
All right.
I don't.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Thoughts?
Man.
You know what? No,
follow
like
Bill.
6 of them.
Yeah.
Let's really.
I'm not really like.
All right.
Sorry, Zach.
No, you've changed me.
That's your thing, though, Zach. I mean, you
Felt like following
nailed
the
that
crowd.
one.
Yeah, I did too.
What are some things you feel are missing from comedy? Yep. Damn.
I'm not in a position to,
Man.
you know.
The tradition
Whittling
lives
this
on.
down.
Well, I don't come down to where you work and
Oh, by the way, I don't work anywhere.
well, I doubt then.
Yeah.
I don't go down to the employment office and talk to you.
What's one fad or pastime that came back that you wish didn't come back?
What?
Like, what's one fad that was a thing a while back that came back that you wish didn't return?
Can we talk about how I wish Jinko jeans would come back? So I can start wearing them again?
I think
Fail.
the other have tried.
No.
No, we can't talk about your dragon pants.
Super fudge. This is.
Weren't those the ones that go like straight down?
Yeah, well, and they had pockets that
Yeah,
could
but
fit
they,
like a
they
whole
go to-
2-liter in them.
And like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
I did like
those.
Some of these I'm like,
Feet didn't exist.
Yeah, feet were not a thing.
No. With jetpacks under there now. Flying around.
Did the rise of reality and
21st
competition?
century.
Brought to you by Jinko.
Order.
Sorry.
Who would have thought Jinko was like innovative?
It's Robert's
Sorry.
rules.
Did the rise of reality and competition shows go too far in blurring the line between scripted moments to entertain and actual real life?
I'm down to talk about that, man.
I mean, I'd have like 8 seconds though. Like,
Of just being like, yeah, definitely.
I was gonna say no, definitely.
okay.
Oh shit! Then we should talk about it since people.
Shall we debate it?
Sorry.
Bless you.
Was it?
Oh,
All right.
Feel
We can-
strongly either way.
Yeah.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh, it's the last
I don't
one.
know.
I don't think I'd have much to say about
Yeah,
it.
okay.
Oh,
If it's
Zach,
two
why
of
don't you
us
just pick
debating.
3 and you read them and then you decide? I'm changing the rules of your show
Post-prerogative.
now.
You can beat that.
Oh, if you could be someone else for a day, who would you be and why?
Oh, that's kind of fun. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta think about this one though.
It's like, do you give like an honest answer or do you go for the funny answer, you know?
Yeah.
Porque no los dos?
If you could be a person for one, it's like one day, right?
Yeah.
But it's in this like universe.
Yeah, that's someone that exists.
It has to be, they have to
Wait, do they get to be me though too?
So you can't be anyone.
Oh shit! I don't want somebody being me.
Yeah, I don't want a Freaky Friday.
So this is a
scenario.
Freaky
Oh, it's a
Friday.
Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
It's a Freaky
Why?
Friday?
Did this defines this?
No.
No, it doesn't. But like,
You could
We
do
made
that.
it.
it's
You could say
Lohan's
made it.
law.
If
I
you
mean,
made it a Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
Is it a Freaky Friday where
No.
it's not
No,
a Freaky
just
Friday?
being
No.
someone
Friday?
else.
Okay, all right, then I'm safe.
Because if it's a Freaky Friday, my girlfriend for sure. That'd be dope.
That would be hot.
Yeah,
I'd
you know,
come to
those
that.
adventures. I mean, you know, yeah.
No, I'm with you. Like, no. That's a.
It's an
brave
awesome answer. I'm just.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
If it's Freaky Friday, like,
Yeah, right.
It's like, all right, you be the strong one, you know. Fucking.
Wait, are you the strong
No,
one or
it's
she?
like she's saying that to me.
Oh, yeah. I get you.
No.
I go for 3 different answers. This one, I can't decide between these 3.
Okay.
Weird Al,
All right.
Donald Glover, because he could do all these things,
Yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
facets.
Pretty good.
Or Matt Skiba, because he's in 2 of my favorite top 5 bands, and he gets to do the stadium with Blink-182 and the small club with Alkaline Trio. So he gets both sides of the music spectrum, and
Solid.
he gets to encompass each audience, which I think is really cool. It's like, oh shit, 16,000 people one night and then like 400 the next. Like, how awesome is that? If you're a musician, that's like really cool. So you're not just playing the same crowd over and over again. That's fun for me. So
Yes.
Solid.
it's fun.
I gotta think about it. So just
All right, pass for now.
pass for now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you got one? You're thinking? Was your girlfriend your final answer?
No, that's a Freaky
Oh, that's
Friday.
only if it's Freaky
That's the
Friday. All right, I'll go for the cheap answer. What?
Those are for later episodes.
Oh,
The
okay.
ones that we fail, I save them for later episodes.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I feel better now. It's like you can't make some other. That's like Cards Against Humanity. Like
'Cause it'll really depend on like who wants to talk about it later in the
that's
feature
fair.
episodes.
All right, all right, all
Yeah.
right. So my answer is a little bit of a cop out, but I'd probably be Donald Trump, just so like I could affect positive change in the United States.
Makes sense.
I thought you were gonna say Elizabeth Taylor or something really off the.
No.
What would be your first thing of act? Would you shave your head and be like, you know what, this is the real me?
No.
This is me.
I'd be
Just
like, all right, we need to talk about criminal justice reform. Everybody needs to listen to System of a Down and like figure out like, hey, we're fucking things up.
Why don't presidents fight the war? Why do we always send them over?
And I'm sure that'd be a great thing for the president to say.
Yeah, just like pardon, just that in that one day, because that's a thing you could do that would be binding in one day.
They're like,
pardon
all right,
like every low-level drug offender.
Clear my
country.
schedule.
Yeah.
I'm pardoning all of America.
I'd probably go with whoever's currently the president, and I wouldn't start with like low-level drug offender though. I'd be like, Julian Assange pardoned. Like we're just let's really rock
work
the world.
both ends of the
Yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone just scared.
Every other like
I mean,
But I mean,
eventually,
that's the most persecuted human alive. Like, there's 5 governments watching that
I don't
guy.
know about that, but
He lives in a box where he's spied on.
Hey, he's in a box.
No, he lives in a box where like he can't poop without 5 different government's intelligence agencies watching him with cameras that are obviously there.
sure.
This is
Is that persecution though or observation?
he
'Cause,
if,
like,
if he
prisoners
leaves
can't
the
poop
box
without
if
being
they
watched.
if he leaves the box they'll extricate him to extradite him to the United States where he'll be tortured for the rest of his life.
I feel like either way it's torture.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Like he hasn't been allowed to leave that room for like 5 years now.
Yeah, I
like
think
I remember around the
It's
2011,
ridiculous.
2012.
and it's literally for like being like, hey, they're torturing people.
Maybe he really enjoys that though. Like maybe that was what he expected in this
Yeah, I
movie.
want to telecommute.
Everyone always says,
Well, he
like,
doesn't
Joe,
get a telecommute anymore. They cut his communications.
Yep.
Well, then that's
Yeah.
everyone always says Joe Rogan's a troll. Julian Assange is a troll. Just like waiting, like sitting there, like, what am I gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know. I'd be Trump too, for a day. I'd just pardon the shit out of so many people. It'd be great.
And fire off a few missiles for fun. I mean, come on. Come on. Even if you just blow up like a little goat island somewhere.
Oh, declare war on North Dakota.
I would
Fuck yeah.
declare
There you go.
war on North America and then say like, all right, you are now refugees from North America. So I'm going to give you all supplies.
In North America.
Yeah, because
You're gonna do like what Eisenhower did with like the highways, but like
yeah, exactly.
Last night in Minnesota, I said, if you guys are wondering where South Dakota is, it's south of North Dakota. Duh. Like, you guys are like, that state still is here? That's still... No.
Do we got any
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone?
Yeah, she's got all the like. I'd want to be Emma Stone while she's filming Easy A or La La Land. Just like she's got
Easy A.
such fun roles, and she's such a like well-timed comedic actress. And she always gets like the best clothes and hairdos. Like,
Well, it makes sense because you're also a versatile actress. You play both comedy and drama extremely well.
I don't want to brag, but
thank you, Zach.
So it's
nice.
for real. You crush
Thank
like
you.
either drama or comedy. Either way, it's like you're the star every time you're in a scene. It's like, oh yeah,
even Wolf.
But not Wolf number 8.
not that was a blurred line. So,
Thank you, Zach.
yeah, of course.
Gosh, I'm blanking on his name right now, but it's like that German actor who's in like a lot of the Quentin Tarantino movies. What's his name?
Hans. It actually is Hans.
It is Hans, but what's his last name though? It's like, isn't it?
Schroeder.
No, it's like
That's
Christian.
his character name. I
Christoph
think.
Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz,
And his character
yes.
is Hans Schroeder in.
Okay.
Christoph Waltz, because like, how badass is that guy? Like,
that's
he's
true.
just so classy, and he can play a bad guy, and like, I mean,
and a good guy, and very similar mannerisms, but
Yeah.
they're both convincing.
he's so new, and like, he's German, and he's like playing these American characters like they're just no big deal.
Yeah.
Like, he's so
Terry
natural.
Gilliam used to do a crazy good impression of Christoph.
Oh, I
Waltz.
saw
was
that
like,
on
I'm
SNL,
so
yeah.
happy to be here.
So good.
You just smile like,
Who do you got, Rob?
Okay, so bear with me here. Elon Musk, so that I can mail myself a suitcase filled with non-consecutive unmarked bills. Because does he remember what I did during the day? Because okay, anyway, get myself money.
That's what I was thinking
And then,
too.
and then part 2 is, and there's a reason I chose him and not Bezos or somebody else. he's got to have access to some really fucking nice, because it's only for a day, really nice toys. There's got to be some like amazing. He's got to have like a fucking like.
But I can go to
UFO
Area
or some
51.
shit.
So
do you think they let him?
No.
You know, I
Deep
mean,
State's not going to let him into Area 51. He'll just get into like level 1 with the.
I'm talking about with the president.
No,
Right, I know.
Oh, you don't think?
The president can only get in like level 3 with like the Aryans and the Greys. Like you need to get down to like level 9 with the reptile people and stuff like that before you get the really crazy cool shit at Area
Well,
51.
Ted Cruz is one human and not many. Okay?
Right.
Like,
So yeah, because I do him because of money for myself afterwards, and then
It's very altruistic of you.
one day of ridiculously fun toys. Like that guy's got to have like an
Iron Man
fly,
suit.
like a fly, yeah, or like a flying Tesla with flamethrowers on the front of it or something
Right.
like that. You know,
right.
can I actually change mine to Bezos? And then just be like, detonate an EMP in the Amazon server rooms.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
That's some like Fight Club meets Ocean's 11 shit right there.
yeah.
Can I
Right?
film you doing that as Donald Trump?
EMP.
I don't think you would be able
Impulsive
to unless
I
mean,
you're
that's
using
how
an
it
old,
happens.
yeah, right.
Like the Ocean's 11 moment where like they
like a
set off
hand
the
crank?
pulse
Yeah, right.
kills all of Las Vegas. That's what it is. I think you're referring to that, right?
What now?
The EMP.
No, it would be like it would just it's an electromagnetic pulse, yeah.
Yeah.
But it would just
He's talking about a very like surgical one that just takes out a server, but he's thinking that Amazon would only have one server.
No. I'm talking about Amazon's. I'm talking about the fact that Amazon owns like most of the internet. Like I'm talking about bringing down the internet. Absolutely, it'd be dope.
Yeah.
It'd be dope. You're welcome. You're all welcome after I'm done. You're
Have you
welcome
seen
at the
it?
internet.
Well, and
Gone
we've been
now.
playing.
I'm
Everybody's
shouting
been,
into the void. Like, you can't take that from
Just
me.
shout into the void.
and
Just go
everybody's
outside
been
and scream.
planning for the apocalypse.
No, you get arrested.
You've got to give everyone a chance to like play out their apocalyptic scenarios.
They're gonna.
Because I want to have no.
There's
Someday.
Kyle Dunnigan does a great Elon Musk impression. He's like, "Yeah, we blew up the country. Yeah, blew it up, really good. Blew it up, and yeah, it's all gone."
That's all gone.
Zach is really good at impressions of people doing impressions.
Impressions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Impressions of other
Yeah, I
people's
think
impressions.
like I made you do like a Nick Cage doing Christopher Walken for like 10 minutes one time, just for my own
Can
like
I hear
amusement.
this?
Was it? Oh, I don't.
Or maybe it was the other way around. I made you do something.
I think
This is Inception of impersonation.
with Christopher Walken doing Nick. I bet it was Chris doing Nick Cage.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. We give him a kick and then he goes back down in person.
It was like your graduation
do this
party. I
right
think.
now, Zach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you were performing, and yeah.
I think I was just taking requests.
Yeah, and I was just like, do this.
That's-
No, keep doing it. Don't stop, Zach. Like, I'm enjoying myself.
we're gonna take
Christopher
declaration of £100. It's like a mashup. It's like, because Kyle Dunnigan does the same thing. He takes a famous person impersonating another famous person.
Nice.
So he does
Jimmy Fallon does that too. Like,
Ray Romano doing Christopher Walken.
No! It's all wrong, Dad! I need more cowbell!
And then Bill Maher doing Jack Nicholson. You can't handle the truth, okay?
that's just Donald Trump.
That's a
now.
bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Is that
weird.
what you get from
And he did
combining those
I
two
think so.
humans?
he did comedians in cars getting coffee with Jerry Seinfeld, like, John Mulaney, you want to get some coffee? And then John goes, no. Not for me. Never.
I just want to feed my birds.
Get out of my way.
Does John Mulaney do clean comedy?
He's half and half.
Okay.
Was, I feel like that. What was that? Hello, oh hello. That
Oh,
was
hello.
Dirty. Yeah.
I feel like he's one of those comics that
Disguises
Gets
makes,
away with
makes
it.
the dirty seem clean.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he slips it in there now and then.
During his New in Town
I know what you're
special,
talking about.
he would throw in random
Sis.
dirty jokes here and there, but they were still like,
Right.
yeah. It's like one of his jokes was he swore just for the sake of the joke. Like, oh, I wish I was a comedian during the Def Jam days, so I could
Oh,
describe
yeah.
Home Alone 2. Like, you seen this shit? You seen this fucking Macaulay Culkin shit? It's a numbered street, motherfucker. Like,
Let's tag John Mulaney in this.
John Mulaney had a great time with you on the Dresch show.
no. Feed my birds.
Again, Big Mouth is like my favorite television.
I love it.
I need to see that.
The gym teacher is my favorite character.
Oh my gosh, the gym teacher.
Does anyone have access to the Wi-Fi password? or the dying hormone monster. Like, what are you gonna do?
I guess I need to watch this.
It's a great show.
So good.
It's so funny.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Bubble bath.
Or when Nick Kroll plays women on the show, like, oh my god!
Yes,
I love
that's
Nick
my favorite character.
I love Nick Kroll, period.
Yeah,
That is
You
a
just
funny
like
person.
stuck your tongue down my
You
throat.
wanna rub Franz? It's so good.
Remember from the Kroll show, I think it was Rich Dix, and it's just him. It was him and it. Who was it who he does Oh Hello with? 'Cause that is Nick Kroll, right?
No, it's John Mulaney and Nick Kroll, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's John Mulaney and Nick Kroll, and this skit's called Rich Dicks, and they're just these guys who are just entitled bags. Like they get arrested on their way out of Tijuana with a briefcase full of cocaine, and like they get bailed out of prison or jail immediately while they're being held, and like as they're leaving they're like, oh fuck you to all these people in the scary people in the cell with them, and then they're like, yeah, your father called and we realized there was a misunderstanding, we've returned all of your things, and then they're like, I think there's something else missing, and he's like, what are you? No, I don't think there's anything else missing. You know what I'm talking about. No, there's nothing else missing. Where is our cocaine? And they get put back in the jail immediately, but then immediately get out again.
Sounds delightful.
Yeah. Rich Dicks. Nick Kroll, John Mulaney. Check it out.
Another show, before we do shameless plugs, I talked about this before the show, Netflix, The Characters. There's a skit where all these guys at work are like messing with Tim Robinson, who's like oblivious or gullible to everything, and they're like calling him from across the office, and it's just not even that much space. They're like, hey, this is you from 1981, shave that mustache. And he just goes, what? Hey, listen, if you can hear me, don't go to the campsite with your uncle. Do not go to the campsite. And they're like,
Wow.
That is awesome.
and then he hangs up and goes,
That's called
The Characters.
The Characters. I'll check that out.
Gotta check that out.
Yeah, Lauren Lupkus is in that one. John Early, I don't know what it was. John Early's just stuck with me, and I can't even remember what it even did.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, last thing, shameless plugs. We all have things we'd like to plug shamelessly.
It's true.
Promote. Debbie, would you like to go first?
Sure. The Monstrous Little Theater Company, which is the theater company I'm executive director of, is producing Oleana. It opens this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Ryan Howe, who's your co-host, is directing it. It's featuring actors Morgan Helene and Chris Andrews. And it's a great, great show by David Mamet. And it reminds me a little bit of Doubt, actually, as far as its style.
Yeah.
Tickets online are $17, $20 at the door, and it's at White Wall Sessions
At the last stop.
at Last Stop on 10th Street. Yeah,
Nice.
which is such a cool
And
space.
I saw the play at ACTF.
What time
Holy
does the
shit.
show start?
Yeah.
It starts at 7. 7:30. You can
Details
check
on
our
Monstrous.
Facebook page or on www.monstrouslittletheater.com.
Gotcha.
R.E. Theater.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mike.
Yes. But that also, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't really have anything major to plug. I have a Patreon for the Prison Pen Pal project that I've been working on for almost a year now. Like, we're coming up on 1 year. So if you want to contribute to that and help me with what I'm doing, that would be my shameless plug.
Sweet.
Okay. Hi, I'm Adam.
I'm Adam. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
This upcoming weekend, Friday, February 1st, and Saturday, February 2nd, I will be the feature act for Trevor Anderson at Boss's Comedy Club. Show starts at 8. Tickets are $15 at the door for sure. Maybe $10 pre-sale, but don't quote me on that. I'm
Go to
not
the
actually
Facebook
sure.
event.
Go to the Facebook event. Don't quote me on price. What's up?
The name of the event one more time?
It is Trevor Anderson will be performing at Boss's Comedy Club, 8 o'clock Friday and Saturday. I'll be the feature act. You should come check it out. It'll be a cool show. And I also, of course, want to plug Sioux Falls Snow Jam Comedy Festival. It's at the end of February. Myself, I'll be in that, as will Zach, I'm sure. Right? You're on the list? Yeah, cool. So yeah, me and Zach will both be in that. And of course, Edge Case coming out this October
Yep.
with
Actually, it's
Podcast
going to start
Overlord.
earlier. We're gonna.
Okay.
There's enough episodes. We got enough submissions that we're gonna start. Like, I think it's. I haven't officially established this in stone. September 10th, I think, is
Cool.
the first Tuesday after Labor Day.
You like that is by far what I'm most excited about coming up.
I'm so
Like,
pumped. It's the last
yeah.
week to submit stories, and so I've been getting a lot more submissions, and it's
Yeah.
getting me like super pumped.
Nice.
Now I just need to finish my last 2 stories that I definitely wanted in this season. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck. I'm like pushing the deadline.
Yeah.
You gonna spill?
What's up?
Are you gonna spill?
Well, Edge Case is a audio drama that Roberts put together, and it's a sci-fi thriller theme, sort of
It's
like
an anthology, Twilight Zone, and
Yeah.
Outer Limits, that kind of thing.
Dang.
Two of my short stories have been made into episodes for this season, which will also be featuring my vocal work as well. So I'm excited for
That'd be
that.
awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
This September.
Dang. All right. Well, I'll plug for Improv Falls.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Hell
Since
yeah.
there's 3 of us in the room, and Debbi. Fly the flag, Debbi. There it is.
Improv.
That's our logo. We will have merch shortly, so
Yeah.
keep an eye out for that. But if you do come to a show, hopefully we'll be selling merch at our next show.
We'll be
in
selling these
February.
T-shirts.
These
One of
t-shirts?
which I'm wearing.
Correct.
Isn't it so nice?
So come buy those. Come support our work. Where we'll be at Remedy Brewing Company at the end of the month of the next
28th.
month, because it's not February yet, but the 28th of February at Remedy at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
And it is a free show, so but tips are encouraged. So come on down.
And we had
Drink,
packed
drink,
house
drink.
as our last 2
It
shows.
was a packed house, so get down there and make sure you
I've been to
see
one.
early.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
You crushed stand up that night.
that's right. That's right. Thanks for holding the. Yeah, that was awesome.
I do it again.
So yeah, it's all, and if you don't not familiar with the format of improv, it's all audience-based, suggested. We roll with basically creating a scene based on audience suggestion, much like Whose Line Is It Anyway? If you've seen that show, some people say they haven't seen that show, and I'm like, where have you been? But if you haven't, that's okay too. Come on out. We want you there. I think you'll enjoy it. We have a good time.
we do.
All right, guys. And we have other members that couldn't make it tonight, so I'll shout out to Emily.
Yeah.
Emily Wilson, who can't be here. She's busy with her
Steel
acting
Magnolias,
stuff. Yeah, she's done like 2 plays within the last 3 months,
Yeah.
which is just nuts.
Her
So-
lava lamp still. I loved her
great.
lava lamp.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
funny.
She did a little bit on our not 2 shows ago, or no, it was last show. I'm sorry, with the lava lamp. That was awesome.
She was a lava lamp. It was a very convincing lava
it was
lamp.
really
I thought.
good. It had me off. I was supposed to do Betsy Ross, and I just couldn't really focus because they had Kanye over here. Russian Kanye, a lava lamp, and then Betsy Ross, and I just couldn't really And Betsy Ross had to have Tourette's, so I was just like Philadelphia. I don't know, I was just
I'm sewing a fucking flag.
I didn't know what to do with the Russian accent mixed with Kanye, so I just did the
So
Kanye
great.
accent and threw in Russian references.
Yes,
It was awesome.
It's like Kharkov.
So if you're ultimately confused by this conversation, I would just say come figure it out and
Yeah.
come see it for yourself, because I think it's just a lot of fun. So we have a good time.
Good time.
Yeah.
I will be performing at Kenneth Richter's 38th birthday bash at Hydra Brewing Company on Friday, February 8th. Ken Richter's a wonderful tattoo artist and a good friend. He supports a lot of comedy shows, comes to a lot of them. We'll be introducing some acoustic solo acts, Tony DiPaolo, David Naylor, Steve McFarlane. Ken is performing as well, a few other musicians, and with Blackbeard the Bastards hosting that too. That'll be fun. And then there's a charity show at Boss's on the 9th. I'm doing stand-up at for Derek Gerlach, who's fighting brain cancer right now. It's a charity fundraiser show for that. Snow Jam 21st to 23rd. Very excited.
That'd be awesome.
Working with 30 to 35 incredible comics, including yourself from across the country. So pretty excited about that. And Ken McDonald from Kids in the Hall. Holy shit.
Are you gonna go to his sketch writing class?
Yeah,
I think I'm going to too.
I already paid for it. I'm so excited. I'm gonna try.
I'm waiting for a client's check to land, and then I'm buying. Hopefully, if that's not full or something.
Yeah, I think you're still good. I'm gonna try and get him on here. If we can do something here,
that would be
try. Let's.
If you need help loading him into a van or something like that, let me know.
I have a van, but you have to let me be on that episode.
Absolutely.
But I have a van.
Yeah, I would love to do a live Dresch Code episode if we could somehow make that work, but I don't know if that. We'd have to work logistics and all that shit, but
I got the equipment.
we can figure it out. We'll figure something out.
That'd be
I'll
cool.
see. Yeah, there's some people from the fest that I've never had on the show, like Dan Booblets. I'm like,
Really?
how have I never had Booblets on the show yet?
Wasn't
Well,
he
he's
on
doing
the
his
show
own
with me?
podcast too.
No,
Who was on the show with me?
Seth
last time?
Benson and Rebecca.
That's right.
Yeah, so I've never had Booblets, mainly because he just lives 2 hours away. So that's the issue.
Yeah, that's crazy to me because it's like
He's so active still. It's like had he still lived in Sioux Falls, he probably would have been on like the first 2 episodes, guaranteed, straight up. Like, but yeah, so that'll be fun. And yeah, the 28th Improv Falls, very excited. It's gonna be killer. Super excited for that. And that's those are my plugs. Robert, what do you got?
God, so Friday of this week, the 1st of February, I believe, that is your last final day, talking to myself, your last goddamn day to submit stories for Edge Case Season 1. You can keep submitting them, and then we'll talk about doing a Patreon thing or Season 2, but I gotta draw a line in the sand. Friday's the last day to get those stories in. If you've ever wanted to write a Twilight Zone episode, now's your chance. Get in there. Let's see. And then Sioux Empire podcast. I mean, if you're listening to this, you just look at the links. I do a shit ton of podcasts, like way too many for a healthy human being. So, yeah, that's my stuff.
Perfect. Oh, I had one other one. Andy Matfield, who I did a show with last night. He just released a new podcast that I was on today called Hard Day Diaries, and I was on that.
You were on Hard Day Diaries?
Yeah, I was on that this morning. We filmed it. I woke up and he goes, "You ready?" Like, so we did a what he does is he asks comics what one of their personal struggles is, and I talked about anxiety for about 45 minutes, and so it was a different kind of podcast instead of like that lighthearted. Oh, whatever.
Like the heavy one.
Talked about heavy. It wasn't
what was it called?
Hard Day Diaries. He talks to a lot of comics about like
it's interesting.
Yeah.
I can't listen to like every episode. Some of them are tough.
It's a little tough to. Mine is a little more. It's just anxiety stuff, so it's not too. Like, it's kind of just like me.
It's comedians being very serious, or like creatives being really serious.
I like the concept.
Basically, that episode I took anxiety and using it as an advantage to your psyche and your career, and how it can be sometimes a detriment. So I just kind of mixed the two and how I used it in a positive light, and how I've tried to shed away the negative and just use it as a positive reinforcement. So
check that out.
So I like that. That was a fun thing to do. Even though I just woken up, it was still Andy was in his pajamas still.
That's awesome.
like
was it a video podcast too, or just audio?
No, just audio. Yeah, you don't want to. I was just probably. I was like this. But yeah, super fun. So yeah.
If I may, I have another shameless plug. I'm also on a podcast that comes out tomorrow. The Girl with the Red Door. With Christiana Hildenberg. I'm probably butchering both of her names there. But I'll get Robert a link to that, and you guys should check that out. I talk about, being unemployed and what that means in Sioux Falls, and as a person that, is kind of a gig economy type person. Yeah. So, interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely be something for check out. The good uplifting and good...
Yeah, totally uplifting.
I mean, like, as far as, like, fighting on and
definitely.
Totally. Yeah.
Was this a phone one, or is she in the area?
It was a phone one.
Okay.
And it's I really love what she's
I stalk all the other podcasters in Sioux Falls, and they all know this and fear me. So yeah.
And fear me.
So yeah, she called me up. I think it was Friday or Saturday, and we just did a phone interview. And I don't know, very professional. I like it.
That's cool.
So I recommend listening to the rest of her shows if you have time.
Girl with the Red Door.
Yeah, I got the link pulled up.
That's really
cool. All right, with that being said, Debbi, Paul, Adam, Bill, thank you guys so much for being on.
Thanks
it's a
for
fun
having
episode,
me.
super fun time. So Robert, thank you as always.
Thank you.
And you've been watching and tuning into the Dresch.
Dresch Code!